graphics down mode. Oh, do we got a lighter here?
No, I don't have one on me. My bad, man.
Neither. Oh, I got one pocket.
Hey,
I got one. Check me out, guys.
I thought motherfuckers had them. Oh, hold on. Oh, scope the fit. Oh, scope the fit.
Am I Lex Freeman?
Scope the fit. There you go.
Some people call me Lex Freeman. Some people call me Jack.
That's a double lapel jacket he's got on. Sports
I see
coat.
myself as like a Baltimore David Goggins or a modern day Edgar Allan Poe.
Okay. Oh shit! Did that one delete? That's a test bar. I don't know why they show up. I'm trying to check YouTube real quick too. Make sure we're good.
All right.
No, but you're looking strong.
You go ahead.
No, you can spark it. You rolled it. It's spark it, bro. That's bad luck. You know that's bad luck. You know that's bad luck, dude. You can't do that, man. You tread. You best be treading carefully.
Kind of this
Superstitious.
This ain't gonna look good to you, man.
Superstitious. Oh, what's that? My lighter.
This is the white one. Yeah, you spark this with a white lighter.
Yeah, I've already determined
magic voodoo going.
I've already determined I was gonna steal it.
Oh, what was that?
Is that my lighter?
What was that? You took? Oh,
double lapel.
Blazer?
Bro, why don't you have a lapel pin though? Then that way you know it's a lapel. You know, like you get a lapel pin. They know you're working with something then. It's actually funny. You've actually found a really nice fitting suit jacket at Goodwill.
Right.
It fits you
That's
good.
what I said.
It fits you good. Yeah, definitely. 100%.
That's what I said, bro.
Yeah.
I bought multiple like this. That's why. Here's my plan. Right. There's a couple things in life that I refuse to pay for, and a suit was always one.
Yeah.
So when I got my chance, I was like, okay, if I could buy a bunch of them for cheap, I'll do that. And then I'll find one that I like. That's what I did. You know, so
we're not like talking like just a bank like
could
cheap.
put a button in here. I could put a button in here.
But I want people to be clear. Like we're not talking like.
And then like I always
for
wanted to find.
600.
I told you I always wanted to find wine. I never was gonna pay for all them wines to taste them. So when I went to an all-inclusive resort, I just tasted every fucking wine. You know, you gotta learn to take your advantages. When you're poor, you gotta learn to take your advantages. Okay.
Oh yeah, especially on those all expense paid trips. Like, like you eat like 60 times. I was having trouble like finding it. It was weird. I see the test broadcast.
I was trying to make it a mission to make them take an L.
You're gonna eat them into a hole, pretty much.
I was trying to fuck them in a hole, bud.
I was trying to take them out back in the ditch and fuck them.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, like it's fun. I was watching a video. I'm not sure why, but like every once in a while I stumble across some of these travel videos. You got these dudes traveling around. This guy was from Honduras, and he went back. He was raised in America.
I'm sorry. Should I delete one of these?
That test broadcast?
There's two of them on here. Should I delete the older one?
There should be one that you should be able to clearly see as a test broadcast.
Okay, let me go
ahead back over there because it wouldn't load for me real quick. I can see the.
Okay. Oh, you can only see the test one if you're coming as the page.
We're
learning, guys. So if you're coming as you,
it says one person reached with the test broadcast though, which is super odd. You know. But I see the one we're live with right now.
I always be sharing from the page to the page too. You gotta go in there and make sure that you become you on the page.
Yeah.
That's a mistake.
That's a mistake. We just need a tech guy. Straight up a tech guy. But and I did post our story though, which is pretty cool. In case people are into stories, there you go. You can go and tune us in right there.
Well, it does sound pretty good though here. Get this out there.
Yeah, to share it. I was watching this video. He was in a poor country, and he was at this random guy's birthday party. They're all kind of hanging out. All the neighbors are there. They're chilling. He goes walking to try to catch a bus home. The lady stops and is like, "Yeah, you don't want. It's a little late to be leaving. I think it'll be a little unsafe. You know, they're just talking, shooting shit. They're talking about each other. And then pretty much eventually she was like, "Yeah, if you want, you can stay at my abuela's, and then leave in the morning. It's all good." And pretty much he's touring around the city with this lady. And I mean, like as I noticed time and time again, especially in poor countries, especially in places who experience more violence or always the communities of these places are so much more intertwined than they are in most places in America or anywhere really. I'm saying that when you are in tough situations like that, people look out for each other.
Yeah, but people do that here too, bro. People look out for each other.
Oh yeah.
So
but
like if you went somewhere else, and fucking told them about Baltimore, you probably would tell them, a lot of bad shit that's happened. But somebody could have watched one Baltimore video where like they came to a person like yourself who's from Baltimore, and they were like, "Oh well, I watched this video, and this guy was just like super nice and like offer," and really that was you,
and like
not the city.
And like,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
like especially like, but like in like some of these areas where like you got like 20 people living on top of each other. People are in such close quarters.
That's for sure.
It's so much tighter knit, and people just it's like I said in tough times where like you don't rely on the government. You rely on your neighbor.
There's no government.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have to rely on each other.
The government comes as a bad thing.
And they all, I mean, like, there's look out. Everyone knows everybody, neighbors. They're all partying with each other.
A lot of shit. Okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. And that's what like I think we might have talked about it before, but like that's what I've always like envied on. I don't even know what's okay to say anymore, but the black community, like that's one.
Straight up,
is that okay to say? Like,
no, straight up, no, I 100% agree, bro.
The black community, like. When you go down like a black neighborhood, say whatever you want about it. When you go out there, everybody's outside. Everybody's talking to each other. It might end up being bad or good. Who knows? I don't know what's going on. But they're all outside. They're doing something. Like they know their neighbors. They know each other. Yeah. White people, we move in fucking houses with row homes. You don't even know your neighbor 2 years later. You're still inside. Like you're trying to avoid them and shit.
Yeah, 100%. And you do like sometimes you won't even say you'll see them. You'll both leave the house at the same time. You won't even say, hey. It's like. They won't even look at each other. You just hope they don't. Most people will hope they don't say nothing to you. Then you got to have an awkward social interaction.
We talked about trying to grow out of that before. It's
not easy. 100%. 100%. And I mean, like that's again like that sectioning off. We were talking that seclusion. We were all talking about. We're like, we just keep in this like narrowness of our life. And then when you see other people. Doing it. Like you guys just at the end of the day, you go back and leave, and you go live this solo dolo life. And that's kind of like the culture we almost have, you know what I'm saying? And like, I think a lot of it could possibly even stem from, people wanting to go and live out in suburbia where you live far away from people, like you live in single family homes that are close to each other, but you're just far enough to where like I think it's kind of cool living in a row home and I walk out and my neighbors, I share a porch with a neighbor. I think part of it this could be good. It could be bad, like I've had some cool neighbors because the house next to me has always been a rental. I've met some cool people. I've been like fortunate enough to not have terrible neighbors ever.
In your life, when you reach like, your successful part of your life as defined by you, do you want people over your home?
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, me too.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Like I actually hate it because
I've talked to people that are like, my home, is for me, basically.
Yeah. I mean, like strangers' house, house party with strangers different than having my friends over for a dinner party. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But like that's kind of how you meet people too. Though.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
Like, oh yeah, I'm having a game night. Bring somebody, or I'm throwing a cookout. Bring somebody. Like
I was more talking like just kind of like just like reckless strangers house party type of deal. Like bring the people because the people you trust, you would hope they don't bring someone that they don't trust.
Exactly.
So I trust you to bring trustful people.
Right.
And I actually feel bad right now because my current living situation, I don't have any of those things, and I can never even offer to have that type of thing. Right. So when I get my own, I can't wait to do those things: cookouts, Super Bowl parties, whatever, Friendsgivings, whatever the case may be.
Hell yeah!
Even like I would even love to get a tradition going where it's like hey, 1 year Thanksgiving your house. Hey, 1 year Thanksgiving at my house. Hey, 1 year Thanksgiving at their house.
That's what we're saying. Like we should start a Friendsgiving. We've tried. Well, we were gonna start this year, but COVID. We got fucking COVID. So, you know what I mean? That pushed that out.
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
We were going to do it this year, but like, that's what we want to do. Like, okay, get everybody together. Then somebody does it next year. Somebody does it the following year. Like, and what's crazy, man? You can get real sad, but like, dude, I would fly in for that. Like whoever, if it was like, I don't care where you lived. We can fly
once
to you.
Once a year, I can come visit you.
I would come for Thanksgiving.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like,
you get to that sad part though of like nobody wants to leave nobody. That's the truth. Everybody complains about everybody, but like we're so scared to be alone.
Yeah. I mean, like they say misery loves company. Where like you would even rather have someone be there miserable with you.
You better have an enemy. You would literally better live with an enemy than live with no one ever.
Exactly. I mean, exactly. And
like that's always I always see that song. I don't know why it stuck with me, but pain is about to have pain than nothing at all. It's because it's so fucking true.
And bro, I mean, like whenever we talk about something like that, especially pain, feeling something, I will never forget what Saul said that one time. Or like, I think you asked him, like, what do you miss? I miss feeling anything. Even pain. It's like. I'm sure he felt pain, but like he felt feeling things, like because I mean of what he was going through at the time, I mean I was just like I never heard someone say that to me, like someone who who is really going through a tough time in their life. Like, I mean, like we've said all the time, it's like, yeah, we'd rather feel pain than other, you know. But like you hear someone going through tough times, really going through the dirt, the grit of it, and they say something like that to you. Someone who's really in it, and you're just like, damn, man, yeah, you know.
I
Like,
mean, you want to feel something. That's
yeah,
the whole point of being here, right?
yeah.
It's like feeling something.
Well,
bro.
that I think it was the Socrates and Plato video you sent, or it may have been another one where it's like, you know, I mean, like they say, like a life devoid of those types of feelings, you know, doesn't give context to the good ones. So you need those bad ones to, you know, see the good, you know, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? It's a yin and yang. It's a dance of the world. I mean, you know, and I mean, yeah, you know, 100%. You know, at the day of anything, you'd rather feel something rather than just be a numb human being going through the motions. You know,
for sure. I mean, he said a lot of great things. You know, hey, that guy, like a walking scripture.
Yeah, and I mean, I remember the big thing that stuck with me as he led was I remember when he was put to death. You know, and you know, it's funny because like it kind of made me think of you, where he's just like, you know, he's like, you may kill me, but you'll see in due time, you know, the mistakes you make. You can't escape my eternal questioning, you know, like that type of thing, you know. Yeah. It's like, you know, you'll see that humans will be plagued with these, you know, this questioning forever, you know, like, and I don't know, it's just absolutely crazy. Like, you know, they saw this guy, he was like, you're radicalizing the youth, you kill him. And then thousands of years later, we're just like, man, that guy was a fucking genius.
Yep, that's how it goes, bro. That's for sure how it goes. And you know, just tying that in, it's like I was watching this video of like exactly, you know, what happened to Jesus. You know, it's weird things that like you don't even put together, but like, you know, Jesus lived, as they say, with the Romans, bro. Like that's when Jesus lived.
Yeah.
Is when the Romans were.
Yeah, man.
You know, I just never even like I knew that, but I didn't know that. You know what I mean? I needed to hear that. And they were just talking about like, you know, what a crucifixion was and how, you know, that was a torture that the Romans had invented for like the worst of the worst because it was the most painful. It took the longest. And they were explaining about how like why that story is so enticing. It's like it's the ultimate story of like the worst punishment happening to the best person. You know, the person that least deserves it.
Wow, yeah.
And that he willingly takes it. And then like I didn't know this also, but there was a person that stepped forth for what and claimed that, you know, they had did what Jesus had done wrong, which I don't even know what that was, but had claimed, oh yeah, it's spreading like false knowledge or whatever the fuck it is at that time, you know? And they were like, basically like, you know, as the story is told, they were like, no, you know, it's him. And like, he just let them do that, you know, however you wanted to say that.
Yeah.
But it's really about like, that's what we've done all this time, man. We're all trying to decide who's right, man. I just feel like we got to give that up. You know, I don't want to be right. I have no obligation to be right. We're just simply all saying what we think. Like no one is right. No one can tell nobody else what to do. If they want to be evil, they can be evil. It's up to you to protect yourself from that and to do what's necessary, you know, because that's going to be part of life also.
Yeah, you're pretty much like your truth, you know, like what's your answer? You know, living your truth. And not looking to others to lead you to that type of thing. You know, I mean, like you've been real adamant on that, but like, you know, I mean, really is like, you know, I've always tried to formulate kind of like my own opinions and ideas, but like, I mean, you fall victim to things, of course, but like, I feel like I've never looked to someone for the answer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I've always rejected most people's answers and disagreed with them, you know, whether for lack of better knowledge or for, you know, whatever. And I've always been skeptical of someone who, you know, whatever answer they offer, always skeptical of it. You know, it's like, you know, just sometimes it just feels weird. You know, it's like, why do you want to give me this answer?
I know. Like, and that's why, like, over time, I've developed like this sick habit of like constantly like trying to check my ego mid-convo and like explain to someone like, dude, I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Simply do not know. I think it's wrong for anybody to say they have the answers. Jesus shouldn't say he has the answers. Moses, Muhammad Ali, I don't care who it is. Everybody should say they do not know. Here's what I think. you know, and it's simply like we're just working, like we talked about with ideas. We're just giving each other ideas. It's like, okay, well, you know, I could see that, and you work on that, and you formulate it your own way.
And in the moment of whenever we talk or debate, you know, I mean, you know, you see, I'll be ready to, you know, kind of like stand by this thing that I've, you know, kind of like identified with. And it's only until when we, you know, go away and you think about it where you're able to make those concessions or you know.
Then here comes ego. Right? Because like you've got to be able to come the next time and be like, okay, we're gonna have this convo again because I learned this, right? Because a lot of people would just be like, oh, I'm not gonna bring that up. I'm not gonna bring that up no more. It was clear. Like I hate when people say that. Like I get into, you know, these spats all the time with people that last a long time, and people are like, this is ash on the floor, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean? Until we fix it up. But you know, I've gotten to these long spats of people, and people will be like, oh, just move on with the convo. And I'm like, why? Like, because, you know, we've hit this part that we can't agree on. Like, I feel like let's talk about it. If it gets to the point where like this is the end, we're just talking in circles, you know, then obviously you have to try to get out of it. You don't always have to agree neither, you know. But like, I like when that part comes up because we're like, most people are going to agree on a lot of things. So I like when we talk about things that we don't agree on. And it's like, I can go down so many wormholes right here, bro. You know, first of all, I would just go with, you know, watching the last podcast back. It's just like I've said it many times, but like, it does even grow my, you know, my admiration. Hey, Kendall, you know, my admiration for you in our talks, bro, because you know, I'm able to have these talks with you.
Yeah.
You know, you're up to date with these things. And also you're kind of at this point where like you kind of understand, oh, you know, why he's coming, why he's coming from this point or whatever it is. And, you know, it's like I don't have to do a lot of explaining, you know, because if you try to talk about this shit, you have to lay out a lot of like framework first with people. So it's nice to be able to like skip those steps and just be like, well, you already know. We got aliens. I mean, like, Felicity's a demon. I mean, like, we're gonna be able to skip a lot of steps and have these convos, you know.
Yeah.
And I have great convos with other people. I do, but I just know when we talk, I have full openness to say I can talk about gay shit. I can talk about smart shit, dumb shit, gang shit, political, religion. You know, it's just nice.
And I mean, that's another thing is like, you know, when you're talking to another person, you know, you're trying to figure out where their boundary, their line may come up because you don't. You have the opportunities to, you know, draw those boundaries or even see where those boundaries are, you know. So like, you know, a lot of people, you know, I talk to at least seem like I'm really pushing the envelope, you know, like especially when you bring up certain things, they feel like you're really far beyond, like kind of like I'm not sure if they like maybe misunderstood where you're coming from. Like I still have yet because everyone's different, you know. I mean, like, you know, I mean, you formulated your idea, but like I want to like get in a position, and I also want people like I feel like when I especially ask this question where I'm like, it's not like, hey, explain yourself because I want to understand it, you know. But like in essence, it is where it's like, you know, it's like when you ask an artist, what do you see when they paint, or you ask a musician, what do you see when you strum that chord? It's like, you know, it's like, okay, you have this idea, you know, it's like I don't fully understand it, but I want to ask you, hey, can you explain that thought process real quick, you know? And you know, a lot of times people don't know how to, and I get it, you know, because like I feel like I'm generally not so good with words or speaking, you know, generally, you know, but like, or explaining things, you know, but like, you know, those things are tough, and there are times where like I may even fumble over my own words, you know, but you know, I feel like I usually would try and just be like, hey, this is how I see it, you know, or like, hey, or like, you know, like, and I ask people, I'm just like, how do you see it, you know, and it's like. I don't know. I just have this idea, you know. It's like okay, you know, like, no, but like, right, yeah. I don't want people to feel like that they're going to bore me with their why, you know, because maybe it isn't that amazing.
You think it is?
Well, maybe because maybe some people think like, hey, it's not that amazing how I look at it, you know.
Okay, I would go back to the bird fly people talk, right? I go back to that, like, bro, people want to tell you things. Like people want to tell you things, bro, and people really want to tell you things when they feel like it makes them special. That's what I'm saying. Where you're like, I always try to do this ego check and blah, 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 you know, because when you like people want to feel special.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so if they have a cool, unique idea, bro, they're dying to tell you about it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Why is Da Vinci known? Because he wanted motherfuckers to know what he was doing. You see what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's why I say we're inherently selfish beings. Right. Now, see what my belief is on that is that, as I've talked about before, is, you know, as they say, all ideas are another idea, right? So really those people, in my opinion, they attach to an idea they heard and they never let it go. And they can't explain to you how David Goggins explains working out. You know what I mean? But they can explain to you that I like David Goggins.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to just watch David Goggins and like, oh yeah, I get it. Yeah. They can't explain to you why they like. You see what I mean? So it's just like they're just taking something right there, and they don't really they didn't formulate the idea. You know, that's like we were talking about with monogram, like monotones, right? Like everybody doesn't have one. Well, like how we said, like, okay, you're supposed to take these ideas and you form a collection of it and you create your own perspective of like what you think fact is there. People aren't doing that, bro. They take in those ideas, they never formulate their own. Mm-hmm. They never. Sometimes they take one idea in, and now it's like I've said before, like you're not investing even the idea. You're now debating the time invested. Yeah. You know, well, he got that idea when he's 5. His daddy taught him to him, and his daddy was a good man. Yeah. So that's what he knows. You know what I mean? It's like trying to teach like a farmer to be vegan. Yeah. It's like that classic thing. You know, like is he wrong? Who the fuck knows? That's how he was brought up, but it's going to be hard for him to change that because that's been his whole fucking life. Yeah.
I remember, especially, younger on, especially, younger on growing up, you're coming into 20, 21, 22, you're learning new things and you're coming into like kind of like adulthood in the early stages, whatever you want to call it, maybe even still being a kid, whatever. But, especially me, I was identifying, really close with liberal ideas. And I found myself generally leaning to the left regardless, and it's not even something like I even feel like I thought about. It was like I subconsciously continued to think like kind of like and almost in the background, and it's just like kind of just like you would always like I'd see something leaning left, whatever, liberal news network, and then you would see it, I would think about it and really think about whether I agree or disagree with what is being said. Rather than just like, because like, it's like I would be like, I don't agree with this, and it's just be like, you're agreeing with like conservatism, but you don't really believe in conservative. But like that was just a thought process. Yeah. Like, you're a liberal, but it's like, no, it's just like I like good ideas. I like things that I think will work. I mean, that's one thing that like, hey, oh yeah, I can see that may work, or hey, that may not fucking work. I don't think that'll work at all. Here's why. And that's the type of thing. Like, it's like you don't want to identify yourself too closely with beliefs when it comes to things like identity politics or like liberalism, conservatism, politics, those types of things, because I mean, like, there's ideas on both sides of the spectrum that need to be addressed, need to be entertained.
There's once again a lot to unpack, but number one being, bro, I think like we were severely affected by that because we grew up in Bush era, right? And it was cool to knock Bush, and he was Republican. So you see what I mean? Like that just all started, in my opinion, right there. It was like everybody was like, "Fuck Bush." You're like, Bush did 9/11. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, Bush did 9/11. Like that was what we were introduced to, And then, second of all, what I was saying about what you said is like a side note. How people always say like, "Oh, that wouldn't work out," right? Well, that bothers me too, because not saying you say that. I know people say that, but. Okay, well, let's break that down. Tell me about myself. Let's break it down. Well, I mean, if you side with that, you side with that. I'll break it down. I'll break it down in my opinion. That's my first time formulating the idea, but like, it does bother me when people say that, because here's my thing. What are we saying that can't work, right? Because it's almost like 99% of the ideas that humans have thought of worked. Everything we thought of, we made. Very few things like, oh, we can't figure out how to split the atom. Right? Like we can't figure that out. But like we got all the way up to that motherfucker. You know what I mean? We've did other shit beyond that sector of like science. Yeah. We figured out everything we ever tried to do, bro. So when people say like it won't work out, well, what do they mean? Because we figured out everything. So you can go to the moon, but we can't feed everybody. Mm-hmm. That just blows my mind. So I don't like that type of thinking. So then I thought, why do people think that? Oh, well, they think that because they think like everything's based around money, and that's why you do things, right? So then I'm like, okay, well, I got to individually go up to people, and I got to say, are you willing? Not even I don't even believe it'll be harder, but that's a side note. I got to say, are you willing to work harder for everybody on your block to have what you have? And I think if everybody can accept that in their own self, then I really don't even want you to come with me. Because what you're going to do when I say that is you're going to say, well, I'm not going to work harder than my neighbor. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be the one, if he's not working at all, I'm not going to, why are you doing that? You just a comparison, right? I said, no matter what you do right now as a job, would you work harder to make sure everybody on your block was okay? You can't say yeah to that. If you can't say yeah to that, then you ain't meant for this type of shit. You know what I mean? You're corrupted right now. You need to better open your eyes and say, you know what? Myself, I'll speak for myself. I'm willing to work 12 hours, 6 days a week. That would be my limit, right? I would say I'll do fucking this amount of hours if you told me nobody was hungry, right? And I don't care if someone didn't do their weight, right? It's about me doing this. And then obviously we're not stupid. So we would wean out freeloaders, right? That's what you're going to do. You're not going to take care of freeloaders. You're going to wean them out, you know? But regardless, you're going to do your 12 hours. You're going to do what you're going to plow that field. You're going to pick that strawberry, whatever the fuck it is, you know, build that plank, cut that, whatever, swim across there, whatever you got to do. You're going to do what you got to do. That's like what they try to instill. Not saying the military is the best thing, but like it's one thing to do about the military, right? It's like, you've got your job. So if everybody's running the opposite way, you're still supposed to go straight. You know what I mean? And that's like, it ties into everything that we're saying here. It's like, that's why people are so afraid to even like, the second note I would say on why doesn't that person have ideas? Well, like people are afraid to say on how they came about to think things, bro, because it's not always like the perfect way. And like, I talk a lot. So there's been plenty of times, bro, that I've talked and put myself out there and regretted it. Regretted it so bad, bro.
All the time, bro.
You know, so it's like that can really shut someone down, bro. That's what I say. It's all about who you got in your life, bro. Because you need that person to come to you and be like, bro, no. You're dope as fuck. That motherfucker's whack. Don't you dare think that you shouldn't go out there and say this. If you feel that way, you should say. Sometimes you need somebody to be like, no, bro, you're dope. You know,
Very
like
true.
you're dope.
Very true.
You need to say what you need to say and say how you feel, because I guarantee you, that motherfucker was feeling some type of way. He's the one that Play-Doh. Did you watch the Play-Doh video I sent you?
Yeah.
There's a great.
I referenced it earlier.
Right. I didn't know you watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I watched it twice.
I didn't know Play-Doh invited at university.
I feel like they didn't go all the first time. I just watched it all.
Yeah,
I watched
it was
twice.
awesome, right? But there's a part, I'm a butcher it, but Plato says, right? He says, I can't remember if it was Socrates or Plato, but he says, I'm dumb and I know I'm dumb. He's dumb and doesn't know it. So therefore I'm smarter. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And like that was a great way of explaining what I've been trying to say is like, nobody knows nothing, bro. And if you can't admit that, then you're dumb. You're not smarter than nobody. You're dumber than everybody else, bro. Because you think you've got something figured out. You're trying to stroke that fucking ego. That's what I'm saying. That's an ego to think that you're gonna do something different than everybody else. You've got it all figured out, and everybody does it. There is gonna be times where that's true, right? But you have to be able to check your ego and know, okay, am I right? Okay, I put myself out here for this person, and they bashed me for it. But I put myself out here to this person and they became my best friend. Now, was me getting bashed by this person that I'll no longer associate with worse? You know what I mean? Than not worth what I have now with my best friend. You see what I mean? Like we've talked about with our friendship, it's basically started again with an argument. You know what I mean? But that's how it goes sometimes. You have to be willing to just keep doing that. And people are going to click with who clicks.
Exactly,
and sometimes
man.
if the click don't happen, it's probably for the better.
Yeah, and it's like you said, I think going our last cast too, where it's like you go have that conversation. If they leave, well, it's like they're not meant to be around. And it's like, bro? Yeah, exactly.
We're getting some psychology now.
Yeah. I mean, like that's really what it is. Like what? There's nothing I could say to this person at this point. I could change anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sitting there with my hand out, and all we gotta do is shake. Well, it takes two to tango, it takes two to have that handshake, and your hand's not out right now. I'm as far as I can go as a human. I have that hand out. It's all about you grabbing my hand with me, bro. Exactly. And if you don't, well, my hand's out right now. And after a while, I look stupid. After a while, I look dumb.
With the Birdman, when he said, first it's respect you. Then you all right, and then it's fuck you. You know what I mean? That's how it is. It's like I'm gonna give you the benefit, right? I'm gonna give you the benefit to say you're cool, and then you show us a couple signs. I'm like, all right, he's cool, but I ain't gonna invite him over. And then you crack a red box. You know what I mean? You're just like, Man, this all goes to the shit because I got checked on myself the other day, man, where I had to like do a lot of thinking. Yeah, man. Where I was having this talk, and this person was like has like the multiple traits at once. I had to reassure things, and there's a person I've known for a long time, and these are people I've known for a long time. There's a couple. There's things that hurt me, bro. It's funny how people cry over things, and then you go, "What are you crying for?" And then and then somebody says something, and it don't even seem like it wouldn't hurt anybody else. You know what I mean? But it hurts you. And there was one thing that was said. Somebody told me, they said the only thing big about you is your ego. And then I said, "Damn." You know what I mean? I was like, "Damn." I let it go, but I had to think about it, right? I had to think about it. Saw something, some one at a time as I went home with that one. I was like, do I have a big ego? I was like, well, this is where I get into like, well, I guess I got to know how you define ego. Because I've talked to you before about it. Like a lot of people would define ego as anyone who believes they can do anything. Like if you said you could do anything, then people will say, you got a big ego. You can't do anything. No fucking duh. No fucking duh. But if you're a boxer or you're getting in a fight, are you supposed to say you're going to lose the fight? No, you're going to win this fucking fight. You got to be fighting to your death. You got to win this motherfucker. Yeah. What the fuck does thinking we're going to lose do for us? You see? So it's like, you tell me how you define ego, and then I'll have to try to explain that farther. For me, I think a lot of people just look at it like, this guy, he's cocky, And that's why I'm always trying to do these ego checks at my combo. That's what hurt me the most, because I'm always trying to be like, I'm not trying to say it like this, or I don't know everything. I'm always trying to do that. And it wastes so much time out of my combos. And then for somebody to be like, oh, yes, ego. I'm like, well, I've never seen you check your ego in a combo. Not saying I'm better, because that is ego. You see what I mean? But it's like, well, damn, like at least I'm noticing that I do have an ego, and I'm trying to, target it. Meanwhile, you just point out other people's ego. It kind of hurt me, And then, someone told me that I had known for a long time that was like, I've heard you, everything you said, I heard you contradict yourself on. I was like, damn. I was like, damn, bro, I'm getting fried to this motherfucker. And we had a little talk, but like I had to go home and sit on it. And I was just sitting there thinking, like, well, if you've known me for a long time, and I tell you that I wasn't always the best person, and I was dumb, I was way dumber than I am now. Well, I'm sure I told you dumb ideas at one point when I was dumb. And now I've progressed. And I probably am telling you the opposite of what I once told you. You know what I mean? So, yes, I'm contradicting myself because I've learned and I've grown.
I've changed.
And what am I going to do? Sit here and be like, oh, I told this person this thing one time, I got to do this.
I didn't.
Oh, in front of Steve, I told Steve that I'm shy, but I told, Kay that I'm outgoing. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, I got to talk to someone. I'm not talking that way. Like, I'm not, you're going to like, you got to be able to grow and talk. And then, like the ultimate understanding, right? They say that when you understand enough psychology, you understand the point that you don't learn nothing. That's really what it is. So you get to this point of like, okay, well, there's really no rules. There's not saying that any situation, it's like you apply this to that situation, it works every time. Every single situation, 7 billion people, things are happening differently. You know what I mean? So I think I might say one thing, okay, Steven, in this situation with your bully, punch that motherfucker in the face. But then you might tell somebody else with their bully, oh, you only got crayons thrown at you. Well, tell that teacher. You know what I mean? Because like different scenarios that you're explaining. Am I contradicting myself? Well, I told this person you should always beat up the bully. I told this person that they should go to the teacher. You see what I mean? I think that you have to be open-minded to be able to say like, okay, well, this is weigh the situation for what it is.
Yeah, you don't paint everything with the same brushstroke. You got to approach every situation and evaluate for what it is. It's not the fact that like, I contradicted anything that I said, and in your eyes, you would see that, I guess. But for me, what happened was that, like you said, you learned, and I've changed, and I've formulated a different opinion now. I thought about the same thing. I didn't just check it off in a book and then put it away in my personality. No, I came up, I rewrote the story. I rewrote what was in that book. Exactly. And then I put it back where it was. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just, that's just growth. I mean, I don't know what else you could put
it. It's not like I did it in a year.
Yeah.
And
then why is it that you come to me and you're like, you contradict yourself a lot? Why is it rather than you asking that, it's that, hey, what made you change your mind? What made you change your mind? Like, it's like what?
Perfect way to say it.
Come on, like
perfect way to say
you
it.
Being egoful.
That was the purpose, exactly.
You being egoful, being like, why are you? Because
you just did back up.
You change yourself. You know, like you're contradicting yourself now.
Yeah, exactly. And I value your opinion. So why would you change? You know, your opinion in this. But two things on that. Not people don't always say things right,
Yeah,
and they might even regret the way they said that.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
right. So and then like I guess I'm trying to think about that tied in, but you know, when they said this and we're talking about changing these ideas, and so it's waiting. Oh yeah, that's okay. There we go. So then that's what I was saying earlier about like it's another time that I regretted talking, bro. Mm-hmm. That I regretted putting myself out there because I'm like, oh, the only reason you can say that about me is because I gave you my ideas. And you heard me say an idea on something, then you heard me say a different way, and now you're judging me for it. You know what I mean? But most people won't put their ideas out there or say anything. Yeah. But you'll all join together to bash the person that says something, bro. It's so creepy to me. You know what I mean? It's like so just like barbaric. It's barbaric. You know, it's like resource implanted.
It's like tribalism, almost like it's like violence. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just moving back to like an ingrained system within you to then group up and then pounce on a person. Like you're like, oh, okay, we all agree he was wrong. We all agree where he went wrong. Why the fuck did this guy leave us wrong then? You know, it's like what the absolute shit, man. It's like all I did was I'm sorry, I said I was wrong. You know, it's like
no, you were wrong.
Yeah, it's just like you fucked this all up.
We should have did. And then you're like, what? We should have done another with the different thing. You know what I mean?
What Jim say?
What should we have done? Oh, we shouldn't have went that way. It's like we had one chance at like so many motherfuckers. I hate to go to video games, but like motherfuckers always say on video games, like, oh, we should have went right.
Hindsight.
Motherfucker. You get one choice. Yeah. You get one choice. It can be wrong. Yeah. Just because someone says this is the choice I think is right doesn't mean anything is right. Doesn't mean anyone can be wrong.
I mean, just to boil it down in some terms, and you're in that small circle in war zone. You got a building on your left, you got a building on your right. You don't know where anybody is right now. You got to sit there and be like, you're moving. The circle's moving outside of you. These buildings are the last ones in there. Which one are we going to? We're going left or we're going right?
Right.
Well, I saw no one going to either of these. So let's go right. Okay, well, we get fucked up and die. Like, did you say, like you said, we should have gone left? I was like, at this point, we had a 50-50 dice roll.
Exactly.
You know? And when you have things where like all you can do is line up your facts, formulate opinions, and move forward. Well, look, man, this is what the facts. This wasn't the facts at the time.
But here's how crazy mathematics break down, bro. Okay, so now say you were faced with those two choices. Now, in hindsight, you can't see it. You predict the future, right? And if you'd have went right, there was a 90% chance you were going to win that game. If you went left, there was a 10% chance you were going to win that game, right? Mm-hmm. But when you made the choice, it was right 50-50.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, man. That's awesome, man.
Bro, just because you might have made this doesn't mean the next one isn't an 80-20.
Yeah.
You got to make another one, bro.
Okay,
go ahead.
You're getting rid of your thought. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So all I was gonna say was like I remember and I remember in The Big Short when they were talking. I remember they had the one thing where it was like called the hot hand fallacy, where it's like you saw that you were right, you know. Well, now in your head you're like, well, I was always gonna make the right decision. That's what people started to do. Like, I was gonna make that decision. I knew we should have made a decision. I'll make the right decision moving forward. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be sure I'll make it. But then you're wrong, and then I mean you know, I feel like a lot of times you get defensive. You're just like
that happens, bro.
You try to, deflect it off because you feel heated. Yep. You know, you feel like you're getting targeted. You're just sitting there, you're just like, and you're trying to take as much like damage away from you. Then you take that one shot. You're just like, you're right, dog. You know, it's
people hit one time, bro, and can ride it out forever. Yeah, like that's what happens a lot of times, bro. You know, so just an example of that, bro, is like the founder of Viacom. You know that entertainment, like. The founder of Viacom, bro, ended up being, a multi-billionaire, bro. At 75 years old, he's still riding out these achievements. Dude invests all his money in fucking Moment Minute or some shit like that. The people that make Mortal Kombat. And this is when, like, gaming was going down and shit. Bro lost all of his money, had to get buy out by his daughter and shit like that, But he had rode his entire life off of the fact that, remember I was right that one time? Because, like, he had predicted that, basically. So, like, he just... Oh, shit.
I'm trying to pull myself back real quick.
So he rode the shit out forever, and you can do that.
They were like, what? I mean, yeah.
But like, so what happened with me is the reason I always say which way to go in that scenario is like the classic, like, I've had so many times where I followed someone, right? And I ended up being in a worse situation, right? And I used to always say that thing right there. I used to always say, should have went that way. I think we should have went that way. I got to the point where it was like, I'm no longer going to say that. I'm just going to say which way we should go. You know what I mean? And if we go left and we die, do you want to be the guy, that is just following some stranger and went somewhere and died? You know what I mean? Or do you want to be the guy that said, that's the right way to go? That's the way I'm going. You know what I mean? And then I got into another layer of that where it was like, well, I told you we've had the long discussion of like, I've realized you had to delegate things, right? That like, you can't do everything, so then it gets into a fact of like, okay, well, now you're just trusting, right? Like to the point that I would hope the trust we have, the trust I have for you, is the fact of like, if me and you, real life game, whatever it is, if we encountered a scenario like that, right? In my head, we're both thinking when the scenario comes, whoever has the first idea, that's the one we're going with, because you're trusting that individual. It's not a stranger. It's not some person, that you think has low IQ or a bad opinion or bad morals or whatever it is, So it's just a thought game of like, we're trying to make a quick thought. I know who I won't trust saying this, if someone says go that way, I'm going to rethink that one. You know what I mean? But if we come up here and Steve says go left, I'm going to just expect that you've seen guys on the right and you've seen an opening on the left and the circle's going that way. I'm just going to expect that you're making the right call. And if we die by that, we die by that, right? But you have to delegate. You have to trust people. And someone has to trust you. Trust that you can make the right call, but it can also be the wrong call.
Yeah, you want to surround yourself with people you feel that you can rely on.
Who's ever been 100% right, bro?
Exactly, man. Who has 100% chance?
80% right.
Exactly, man. And I mean, like, if you found that guy, well, I bet he had a great room of a great cabinet. You know what I'm saying? I bet he had a great group of people. I bet he had a great group of people behind him, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need. Differing views, opinions, but at the end of the day, like, I gotta be able to rely on you, as a person.
But like, then you reach this third step that I got to with that, right? Where it's like, okay, so you'll find these people that you think belong in your cabinet, or you think, okay, as we're saying that, I want them in this circle, and they have all those great ideas. They have everything you're looking for, but they can't drop that ego, bro. They can't drop that ego. So then it becomes like, why do best friends start a business? They say don't start a business with your family. Best friends will tear apart, right? Like, because you get to this point where it's like, oh, well, I'm just as much as part of this as you are. And you keep coming up with ideas. You see what I mean? Like, that's like, it's weird, right? So say there's like 6 people, right?
Yeah.
And 8 questions come up over 8 weeks. And one person every time came up with the right idea. And the idea worked out. The 9th time, the 10th time, bro, they start caring less and less if you're right. And they just want you to let somebody else have an idea. You see what I mean? Like, they don't care no longer about that. It's like, that's why I realize it sounds bad, bro. But like, you do have to make people feel like involved, and that's something that I've tried to do. You find little ways, and it sucks because like, you're not trying to be manipulative. You're just like simply trying to like find what someone's good at, delegate these things to them so they feel like they're a part of it. And from a good standpoint of, I want you to be a part of this. So where can we find your spot? Like, say if your best friend, bro, couldn't do nothing. Say if I couldn't do nothing else in the world, bro, except mop floors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, am I going to be mad at you if you only hire me to mop floors? You see what I mean? Like, that's how I feel. So hire me to mop floors. This is what I'm good at. I'll mop the fucking floors, and I get to live this life, basically. You have to find your niche in life. Nobody's going to clock all the boxes. Nobody's going to do everything. You have to find, what you bring to the circle and add that in as a collective, agreement. I think you have to be able to drop the ego to know when you're not good at something. When you should. It's not about who's right. It's about like who is most qualified, right, to take this opinion. And then we'll go from there. Now, I don't think you should talk. Like, I watched this video, bro. This one hit, dog. I watched this reel, bro. And this guy was, it was kind of representatives, I guess, right? And the lady told him, Well, Joe Biden's plan for the economy, and he cut her off, and he said, "With all due respect, ma'am, our president has never worked a day in our economy outside of D.C." And I started thinking about that. What a lifelong politician means, bro. He never had another job his whole adult life. He's never did anything except for someone who tells everybody else what should be done. So how can he know what's good for the economy if he's never even paid taxes? You know what I mean? Or I know that's paid. You know what I'm saying though? Like he's never ever had to work bottom tax bracket. Never. Not once in his fucking life, bro. And how many of these motherfuckers are lifelong politicians? Never did shit. The only thing you can tell me about when you mowed lawns when you were 16, bro. And they make decisions on life, bro. I can't believe that we let 10 people decide what 10 people can do. That blows my mind. I don't think 100 people should be able to decide what one person does. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how I think it should be open, bro. The moment that like we're all gonna be in here like trying to make this ultimate agreement, well, it's gonna have to be to the point where we cannot let it go.
Yeah,
you know, you're gonna be in this room, right? And you're gonna have these talks of like, should we do beans this April or should we do corn stock? Right? Okay, well, what brings more? Blah 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 blah. Then you're gonna have those dark conversations of like, well, this guy wants to come to Commune and he's got sexual assault charges from back in the day. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This is one that you can't just let go, right? So if we were debating beans or corn, I sit here, I say corn because of this, and you say bean because of this. At the end of the day, you have no attachment to saying bean. It means nothing, right? But when it comes to an issue like that, you're like, no. That's what I was saying before about the morals, bro. The ethics, bro. They're mystical, bro. They're mythical. They're mystical. It's something about it where you're just like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? He's not that anymore. He's trying to come here. It's like, why? Well, there is no technical why. You see what I mean? But you're just like, no. Yeah. And this is one that I don't give a fuck if one person thinks. You see what I mean? It's a no. Yeah. At this point, I don't care if I'm the one person. You're going to avoid all these times where you could be the one person. Then you're going to have these times where you're like, I don't care if I'm the one fucking person that believes this. This is mystical. This is morals. Mm-hmm. You're just like, no, this is fucking wrong. And then from there, what do we hope? We just hope the gods have steered morals 51-49 at best, And if it comes down to one-on-ones, that there will always be 1% left of good.
Of good left in the world.
That's all you can help for.
Of good left. Yeah. Exactly, man.
Because people will try to kill you.
Yeah.
People are killing people.
People are killing people left and right.
People are dropping air missiles on houses.
People are, committing genocide. People are going out raping people. People are going out killing people, stealing from people.
But everybody thinks they're right.
Yeah.
Like every criminal's always got an excuse.
Yeah. 100%, man. 100%.
And even if they don't got a real excuse, it's funny because they're lying, come up with one. Because they know that they should have an excuse.
And that's like when and that's when you get like you see that and you're like, okay. But like you see a motherfucker, like I remember you sent me one interview one time a long time ago, and he's talking about it. He's just sitting there, just like, oh yeah, that's what I did. I knew exactly what I was doing, and that's just what I wanted. Just like you look at that motherfucker, you're just like, I'm glad you're a straight shooter, but what the fuck?
Well, that's what you hope that people are who they are, right? Yeah. If that's what you are, okay. Then at this point, all of us agree to construct a prison system. We will put hours of labor and cement blocks into construct. You know what I mean? Because we now have to make like a decision of like, well, do we kill you? Well, no, we don't know if we should kill you. So we're gonna build a concrete structure, put you inside of it,
we'll lock you up,
and we'll let you know when we decide. And it's crazy because sometimes these trials come 3-5 years after people get locked up and they get found innocent or guilty, whatever it is. You still waited fucking 5 years to get your sentence.
Yeah.
Then you might get death row.
On some little ass shit, maybe even. You know what I'm saying? Because their court date's so far, they can't even afford the bail. Some shit like that.
They push them death row dates back so much. Like you sentence someone to death. I mean, I know they say it's the appeals, but like 10 years.
Yeah. Man's got to see his day in court. I feel like courts have always had their fucking hands tied, man.
That's what's weird, though. Only in America, bro. You can come in there and they'll give you a lawyer to defend a rapist that they know raped someone. and her job is to try to get you off.
Yeah.
What? Bro, that's what I told you. It goes back to like, does the sick system work? No. It has some great ideas, but like, there's clearly like some fundamental fucking weird things, bro. Like that don't make no
like,
sense.
Straight up, it's just like, look, a lawyer sees somewhere and say, look, man, there's no evidence compelling otherwise. I don't know if I can defend you. Like, it's just like, I just hope someone can speak up and say, but I'll try my damn best.
Them, right?
Exactly. You know,
court, someone has to defend them. So
make that fight.
5 people say no. Somebody has to say yeah.
Make that fight, and that's where it's just like, it's like, look, man, like you don't have much of a case. This is all I can put together for you. They're gonna pick me apart.
But the funny thing is they never do that.
No,
right? They always take the case because they hope that they free this clearly guilty man, and then they'll be famous, and then they can start open a law firm and get paid to defend guilty people.
You pick up all the high profile cases. I've always seen people like that.
That's why they go through that shit.
Oh yeah, 100%, man.
Like, bro, they do pro bono cases. A lot of these cases, Aaron Hernandez's lawyers, I think, were pro bono. You know what I mean? Like Dahmer, all these people, it's best lawyers, and they're just go do it. Fucking what? O.J. Simpson, like they all had like top-notch lawyers. I don't know how much.
Got Hernandez off. Yay by off.
Oh, that's what they did with Zimmerman. Zimmerman is the same person that got Hernandez off, right?
What do you mean Zimmerman?
Zimmerman's
the name of the lawyer?
Lawyer.
I don't know the name of the guy.
Trayvon.
Oh, you mean okay? Yeah, that same lawyer.
George Zimmerman.
Yeah.
That lawyer did the same case for.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
One of the high-profile ones, either Aaron Hernandez or.
I mean, we see there's that one lawyer here.
Casey Anthony.
Casey Anthony's lawyer.
That's what it was. Casey Anthony's lawyer is the one that got him off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Got Casey Anthony off.
Yeah. That's a sketchy one. What do you do with people like that? I always wonder, like, how much can I hold personal? Like, it sucks, right? Because, I like psychology, man. Right? So there's 2 parts of psychology in that. Psychology of why am I even, like, say you see Casey Anthony walking down the street. Why do I want to punch her in the face? I want to punch her in the face because they brought some information to me that I would have never, ever known.
Right. Okay.
They literally fed it to me, and now I'm mad about something. You see what I mean? So it's like that part of psychology. Then there's like another part where it's like, big bitch! You know what I mean? Kill that bitch! Burn that bitch! I know what you did! Burn the bitch! I know what you did! Like, why doesn't everybody just pop off? Well, in Casey Anthony. You know what I mean? Or like O.J. Simpson. Like, they just let O.J. Simpson do videos. Like, why doesn't it? You would think, like, everybody agreed he would just get snuck in his jaw every time he went to Walmart or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, why doesn't that happen?
I don't know. Still people taking photos of OJ, just like,
see what I mean?
It's like,
much do we care, bro? But then if he,
what about maybe?
Maybe.
Okay.
Now, but if he had committed that against your daughter or your wife,
well, now it's like, why is no one up in arms about this? It's like, yep, yeah.
There's so many clearly faulty shit, bro.
It's shit. It's just
dude. I listened to a Great American Scandal about this lady, dude, in a research lab where all the drugs get sent. Dude, she was doing like triple the amount of tests that everybody else was, like 900 compared to 300. And like, long story short, but they ended up investigating this bitch, bro, and like she wasn't measuring shit correctly. She would measure like 1 bit of like an ounce, and then it's all cocaine basically. It's not cocaine, whatever it is. Hundreds of thousands of fucking tests, bro. I mean, just crazy about the test this bitch just lied about on everything. And like, they tried to catch her mad time. She ended up like finessing. She lied from the very beginning, like say she went to Harvard and didn't, but had this job the whole time. So was testing all of these and lied on her resume. And like, it's crazy, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And did like all these fucking cases basically had to get like backlog, retested, freed, whatever it is, because she was just writing through these tests.
Not bad.
Very unprofessional. I mean, they should know better. But basically, backlog, so it's just like, that's just like one thing among a million fucking things, bro. I'm so tired of like stressing about it. That's what I'm saying, the psychology part of like, fuck you, Casey Anthony. But then it's like, I'm so tired of stressing about all this shit. Like, really? I just want to make sure my village is good. Like, there's no Casey Anthony's in my village.
Yeah.
Somebody else has to do their village.
Yeah. And I mean, today, I mean, we wake up and you see there's like war going on the other side of the world. And it's like, you want to sit here. You like, you want to care. It's like, you see people going through it, but it's just like, I mean, like, I can't shoulder what Russia's doing. I mean, like, I don't know what I can do.
Right, or Ukraine's pain.
Yeah, you know, I mean, like, or Ukraine's pain, or like, I mean, like, I personally, I mean, like, you feel the hurt for the people. I mean, you have
you
that.
Understand, like, you have that crazy,
and that, and no, I mean, like, I'm not. I mean, like, again, because I mean, like, I don't know fully about like the Russia-Ukraine thing, you know, so it's like, I'm not gonna sit here and like, like, I just see people in pain. And I don't want people to be hurt like that, and especially innocent people caught up in a war between
kids and shit.
And between like what I would boil it down to an idea. This is what it is to be Russian. This is what it is to be Ukrainian. And now we're at war, but people who are like they'll be sitting there. It'll be an ethnic group who's not even like, I'm Ukrainian. I'm this. But I live in Ukraine's territory. Well, now they get caught in the crossfire. It's like they don't even care who Russia Ukraine is. You know, it's like like that. You know.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, how much can we shoulder, right? How much can we shoulder, bro? Like, man.
And then when you talk about like, what that, to me, that's what a symptom of what is going on in this world, which I disagree with. And you just said, like, so to where it's like, well, you want to go and create your village, and you want to make sure that village is good. You want to start something new. And it's like, well, like, that is because this is what's in this world. That's beyond what I control. And now what I can control is what I want to make
smaller group,
but I can make a new.
And then you take that, see, then you get into parts of like, well, first of all, I was thinking, man, when all the natives were getting slaughtered, millions of natives are getting slaughtered, nobody knew across the world. Nobody. Millions. Nobody had one clue. But like, we knew the moment that they marched the troops across that border. It's just like, they want you, to know all of this. Not saying it's right or wrong, but it's just like, a lot of times you can only face what you see in the day, and do your part as you can. Like, what are we all gonna go sign up and head over there? Like, it's tough, bro. It's a tough decision.
I'm going to work this morning. I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here. I'm like, people are hurting, but like, and I care about that. I'm supposed to go about my day like it's normal, but like, also, like, it's not like it's not here and it's not affecting you, but like, it's like, how bad can I really feel sitting here? Going to work and going about like my days normal when people are hurting in the world. Like, I just cannot I cannot change or make up what China's deciding to do right now with the Uyghurs. You know, I mean, I could share hashtags, and I mean, like, I could join like a volunteer group, but like, man,
but like, here we are thinking about that shit on your mind today, but you walked past 5 homeless men and you didn't even notice them. Like, you're completely detached from what normal suffering is. You see what I mean? But like, the moment that we knew the moment they went over, bro.
Yeah, yep.
That was just so weird. Like, I just thought that was super weird, like how much we knew. And then I sent you that podcast where like they already had journalists there just like waiting. It's creepy, bro. So it's really creepy how it happens like that.
And I've been wanting to tune into like the news and like I mean, and I did this morning because I mean it's like it kind of like invokes something you realize like, oh, I don't know what's going on over there. I want to see what I sent you all those videos. I was in it this morning.
It's like you want to see it.
Yeah, well, yeah. Once I saw, I mean, you saw me send those videos.
Psychology, bro. Mike has weird, bro. It's weird how you want to see it.
But like, and I turn on NPR, and like they're calling people who they said they sat down with a couple weeks ago, and I'm just like what? Like now you're talking about the Ukraine's war. Like weeks ago when we sat down, we were talking, and you weren't so sure there's gonna be a war, and then you call them, and it's like, hey, you remember we sat down a couple weeks ago? A war is happening now. What do you think about that? And this guy's sitting here with like a clear American accent. Maybe it's an American student or across abroad. They didn't really say so, but he lives in Ukraine. He's sitting there, he's explaining what's going on, and I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Like, it's, like, how much do you really like believe? Like, you can't even see it.
You don't even know, bro.
You can't even see it.
And now we're just basically gonna like read these news articles and try to like debate an opinion.
And then there was a BBC article where it's like, with everyone, talking about the war, well, there was a lot of fake photography and videos out there, and they went through and they labeled a couple of them as fake, or this one was wrong, this one was years ago, this isn't live, this didn't just happen, and showing these videos, and then you're just like, well, what? I mean, like, what the fuck? I mean, who's flooding those internet with those videos?
Remember in Syria they were doing that a lot, like with the white helmets and shit like that.
Yeah,
that was weird, bro.
Yeah,
oh, that's pretty weird.
Yeah, man.
That's like when it goes back to like. I don't know. I don't want to be the guy that goes off on that ultimate conspiracy, but from what I've seen, I might sound so dumb right now, bro. From what I've seen, I thought that they had proved that there was like an actor or a person, however you want to take it, that was in 2 separate massacres, right? Like,
okay. Crisis
did you ever
actors,
see
crisis
that?
actors.
As they call them. I don't even know what to call them.
Yeah.
But on the realist side, not conspiracy side, it could be like, well, maybe they were in 2 spots. But like apparently there was like multiple people, that have been like filmed at multiple areas before and shit. And that's what I was thinking before. Like, okay, you send the kids this, like, I don't know. It's easier for them to like almost make it obvious, I guess. I'm trying to explain it right. Like I said, and also, obviously it's like you're going to cross this like weird line, but like they manipulate shit, right? They manipulate shit. So like, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, if a tree falls in the forest, it doesn't make a sound, right? If let's say, right, like, I'm trying to think of the example because like a school one, like I'm not even going to go off and say that could be conspiracy. That's super hard to like try to fake. However you want to go about that, go about that. Plus, they never found the shit, or they said they found it. I don't even fucking know. Let's just say, right, that like they took those people and did whatever they wanted with them. You literally would never know. It just would be gone information. The only information that you could possibly take is that it crashed.
Yeah.
And you're just taking that from what they're telling you.
And then there's the so-called lead investigator, and you take his word for it. Well, you don't even know who the fuck he is or what he investigated.
And that's the weird thing, bro. We're getting to some things now, but like that's the weird thing with the vaccine to me, bro, is like I watched it, bro. I remember when that vaccine came out, bro. Moderna said our vaccine is 92 or 93% effective. And then Moderna came out with a vaccine. And they said our vaccine is 94% effective. And then Pfizer went back. And I don't know what they said they did, whatever, but they came back and said theirs was 95% effective, right? Yeah. And it's like, that just makes me think about like how many times we were wrong. We were wrong so many times to be right. Science has been changed so many times. And like, here we are, and you're saying that like you're supposed to get this because it's the right science. But whose science? My whole argument is that nobody should have rules on nobody. So if I'm sitting here, like it started weirding me out. I'm glad that these restrictions are getting lifted. And I hope everybody lifts them. And I hope that they end up just realizing. So that's the thing. They can't take losses. In a capitalist society, if 40% of us aren't going to be unvaccinated, they're not going to take 40% less customers. Mm-hmm. They're just going to eventually allow it, And you're going to get to the point where like the science has came out, right? Like there is facts now at this point where they say it only is effective for 12 weeks. Now, I know it does help with like hospitalizations and like how hard it affects you. That's all true. But they said like the effects of it apparently withstands for 12 weeks. Now, anybody, can go on with this. I'm not saying I know anything. I'm just going off of it was weird from the beginning. And then there's like just these weird things that happen from a, habitually lying company. So it weirds me out, right? This is where I felt like I had a stand-up bit because I never felt like that the vaccinated people shouldn't be allowed in anywhere, and I felt like that was the more dangerous step of like, okay, well, if you're going to do that, I don't know what, maybe you're more likely to get COVID for all I know because it has COVID in it, right? Like that's what that vaccine is, right? And like I said, I don't know shit, but like as that goes, like I don't know, but I never like was once like, vaccinated people should only go here, or unvaccinated people should only go here, or, if you're vaxxed, it's this. Like, I don't feel no type of way about that. But it's weird that people can sit there, and go like, oh, well, if you're unvaxxed, you shouldn't be allowed to go to the museum. Like, well, you think because you accepted the science of like habitually lying companies that have been multi-time billion-dollar fined, science has been proven wrong multiple times. You know what I mean? The science changes and that's okay. Yeah. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. They tried to rush that vaccine, and obviously like they did what they did and all that.
There's a race to be the first approved.
It's the race to be the first. Exactly. That's a problem because it's all about profit now. Money, instead of being correct, it's about being first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they'll just go back and do whatever they want. I never felt no type of way about that. I didn't feel no anti-vax or vax type hate. I never even got into a debate like that with anyone or nothing like that. But like here, all these people are telling me, right, that I'm supposed to do this to protect them. But okay, now I'm gonna get into a point where like you can take it how you want it, right? Bro, you cannot be an obese individual telling me to get vaccinated. I'm sorry. Like that is just so, completely hypocritical to me there. Because you're the breeding ground for sickness. You see what I mean? Like you're literally the breeding ground. If anything's coming, it's coming for you first. You have the weakest immune system, most likely, and you're the most unhealthy. So how can you go around here? Okay. Now my second step, that would be elderly. Once again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And this is not the right thing that anybody wants to hear. But you're, also right there, 1A, 1B with the weakest. Like that, I'm sorry. That's just what it is. And I think that we should all come together and put our tax money there, more money there, charity money there, whatever it takes to come up with a vaccine to help those people. If you're obese and you need it, if you're elderly and you need it, I think that we should all be working together to come for a vaccine because I do believe that they can be helpful. I'm not to the point yet of like, no vax, and I know plenty of people that are, but I don't know enough about vaccines to be able to go that far.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I want to help people who do need that because I believe that might be able to help. And if we can really figure out real, authentic, honest scientific numbers, with honest scientifics through honest companies, then I want to get that to them. If we did all of that, I still wouldn't take a vaccine. You see what I mean? Like that's the hard part that they're not getting is that you can give me the cleanest part of it and I'm still not going to take it because unfortunately for them, that is the beautiful thing about this country. And I've never got to exercise those rights on that degree, but it felt good to be like, you know what? That is what's great about my country.
Yeah.
Is that you can wear your NRA. You know what I mean? And you can choose what to do.
Yeah.
So at that point, I thought, like, if this is the way we're going to do it, and I didn't want it to be this way, but you're trying to segregate, you're trying to do an apartheid. I thought in a capitalist society, it should just simply be up to the business owners, right? Let the business owners choose if they want to be only vax, if they want to be fucking, you got to come in with a negative test. If they want to do no vax, if they want to do both, let them decide, right?
Yeah.
And what's it going to prove every single time? That you want the most money.
Yeah. And so, I mean, and this is the big thing. We can talk about what's ideal and what would be perfect in a just society, but this is a society we're working with. You have a company that's lied, you have a government that's lied. It's as simple as that. I mean, like, I don't blame people for not having trust in that. I would never blame someone because they are what they are. The proof is there. How much malpractice they have committed in this small time frame that we can look back 10 years and find, probably like hundreds of infractions that they just don't give a shit about, or no one gives a shit about, or the government doesn't even give a shit about regulating. But I remember, what I was thinking, one thing I was thinking was that, like, okay, let's just say in a perfect world or in the ideal situation, you have an honest company. You have an honest company. They did everything. They did what was right. Like they did what is right. This vaccine is effective. Would an individual, owe it for the betterment of society as a whole, to be able to make that sacrifice? Would an individual then be more so inclined to do that?
Right.
Well, I think you get into dangerous territory still.
Okay, you're right. That's a great point. So right there, right? So we're right there now. Okay, well, here's the thing. You can roll that up if you want. Roll one up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask.
Yeah, that's why I gave it to you. So here's the thing, right? So you're saying basically, you get to this point of, is it for the greater good, right, Steve? Okay, but Steve, now these ain't no conspiracy. This is facts, right? The flu kills more people, right, Steve? And nobody's forced to take the flu vaccine every year, the flu shot. Mm-hmm. Nobody's forced it. Nobody is mad when nobody does. But this kills more people. So just something as simple as that, when we're talking about like the greater good, right? Well, we don't care about no other greater good. There's people out here without polio vaccines, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody's never once said nothing.
Yeah.
But now you want to stand on something that kills what, 0.000? You know what I mean? Like one, it's like literally ridiculously low numbers. If we reported the flu deaths every day like we do vaccine deaths, it would be more. And I hate being that guy that says that It's funny that I wore this NRA hat on this day that we do this, but
you know what I mean?
It's just so funny.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But like, we've never once cared, but now all of a sudden, like, I'm the one that's gonna kill your grandma. You know, like, bro, that is just like such a far leap. Like, so when you're saying, like, is it for the greater good? Well, what are you saying, bro? Because even your grandma in her 90s, right, has now had COVID and survived it.
Yeah.
Right? This is fact.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, what are you guys talking about? Your grandma that smoked all her life? Your grandma that ate whatever she wanted all her life, never exercised, didn't have a job, whatever the case is, you know, is unhealthy or just happens to get it, right?
Yeah.
People are dying just like flu or any of these other things. So even if you were to prove that, bro, and it's sad because I would literally believe in a fucking Elon Musk vaccine before any of the companies that invented it.
Yeah,
it's sad because brand recognition.
And at the end of the day, I think,
is it for the greater good then?
Yeah, well, that's what I said. You know, in the ideal society, you know,
right.
Dangerous disease comes along. This is the true science because that can be represented because that's what we want to do in this just society. You know, that's what I'm saying. You right now, what we're talking about in things in reality is that, you know, they did lie. That, you know, this is just reality what we're working with, and the reason for this disbelief. If we lived in a just society and a right society and people who lived by standards and integrity, there probably wouldn't be anti-vaxxers because, you know, we would trust the science. We would trust in each other. But the thing is, they broke that trust. So right now, I can't sit here and tell anybody, you know, well, this is the truth and this is the greater good because, well, they're liars, you know, and they're evil people. So I can't tell you. That's what I'm saying. I don't blame anti-vaxxers. I don't believe anybody should be forced to get the vaccine. You know, I don't think anyone should be forced to get it. I have a 90-year-old grandmother. You know, I vaccinated myself because I feel like I better protect her. That's about it. Do I think A, B, C, and D should do that? Well, no. You know,
now, but so let's say from the beginning of that, what if they had told you in the beginning though that you were at the point that you were going to need 4 shots and 2 boosters? Would you still have signed up for that?
Well, you know, I imagine the society you would have, you know, everything outlined and it'd be by choice, whatever you could sign on for.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, no, in your personal scenario, though, like, would you? I'm
not getting any more shots.
I'm asking you as your friend.
I'm not getting any more shots.
I'm asking you as your friend. If you had known 6 shots in the beginning, would you have not taken them shots?
Oh yeah, 100%.
And then and then also, like, if you would have known that, let's say, well, as far as I know, the science is 12 weeks is that it prevents it or fights against it. If you'd have known that basically, you know, you only had 3 months span on that thing, you know, like, I think that would have brought a lot of people back. But instead, they rushed the science. They rushed out the production of it, you know, and
my, you know, right now I am not getting no more boosters.
Right.
I'm not getting.
That's what a lot of people are saying. That's what a lot of people are saying. Like, people got it, and now they're not going to get that.
I feel like I've really put myself out there with getting that thing.
Because these places like Philly and DC, bro, they made it fully vaccinated. So that means you had to get all the shots, not just the 2 or 1 booster. You had to get every shot to be able to go to those places.
And it's the same thing, you know. Like, I feel like I've seen people like they got those first 2, you know, and then, you know, up until that point, it was like, hey, you should get those 2 shots. And then once it got to the point where they needed 1 or 2 more, they were like, no. Now it's too many shots. You know, so it's like, don't be so quick to draw someone else's boundaries, you know? Don't be so quick to be like, well, my boundary's up here, so why are you back there? People are comfortable with different things. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, the mistrust has all been fostered by them. It's all on them. This is none of anyone's here's fault.
But,
man.
Like, my thing is,
you can't blame anti-vaxxers.
Like, you do have, you know, access to all the information in the world, bro. And there's people that got plenty of vaccine shots without looking up any information at all, bro. There's people that don't even know Pfizer ever had a fine. You know what I mean? There's people that don't know about CEO packages. There's people that don't even know about the FDA, bro. People don't even know FDA approved shit. You know what I mean? Like, they don't even know shit, bro. Not to mention that when the vaccines did come out, they weren't FDA approved. You know, that's another thing to add on there if you even care about the FDA and its corruptness.
Let me tell you.
It's a lot of bullshit.
The day after I got the first shot, you know, and I was fucking sick. I remember sitting there, I'm just like, what the fuck did I do? What the fuck? He's like, why would you ever sit here and roll a dice with the fucking 3%? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, if someone said there's a 3%, if you stood in that road and there's a 3% chance you'd get hit and die, you probably just avoid it entirely. It's just like, straight up, you know? It's like, you're just sitting there sick as fuck. It's like, what this shit do that but nobody. It's like, I was so fucking, I was so down bad. And I remember, like, one point, Bray, I thought it was like, you know, when I look back on it, I thought it was funny, but like, I remember I'm sitting there in the middle of the night, and I remember like I get up and I like throw up everywhere in the trash and stuff. I take my shirt off. And I'm just sitting there. I'm so dizzy, and I'm just like, I just want to sleep. I'm so fucked up. I just want to go like the so I'm not gonna get the second one. You know? Oh, straight up, man. It's so fucked up, man.
Oh my god.
I thought I was like, at one point I was scared because I'm just like,
oh my god.
I'm like, I mean, that percentage of people go die. I'm just like, I really thought that, man. I thought,
oh my god, I'm sorry, but that is,
no. It's funny now.
Yeah, then you went and got the second one.
I went and got a second one. I got a second one to complete it. Yeah, I got a second one to complete it.
And after the second one, nothing.
No, I was good. I was fine. And then I was just sitting there. I'm just like, you know, and you know, one of the big things, you know, yeah. Yeah,
it's funny.
Yeah,
it's just
Like
it's funny. I'm sorry, but you gave yourself COVID.
Yeah, right.
And then you caught COVID.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
exactly, man. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I got fucking COVID. Like, what the fuck? What's the whole point of this? Either way, if you're vaccinated, I'm gonna have to quarantine. Like, I thought I was trying to avoid all this, you know. Well, I'm not sick, so I mean, did it help? And now you have a survivor bias. You're like, well, I didn't get sick, so it must be good.
And
you know?
And then your grandma got COVID and survived it.
Yeah.
So
and then the whole way, I'm sorry, and the whole way,
really
look, bro, this is the whole thing. The whole way is I'm sitting there with like the Maryland Health Department when they call you, and the hospital when they call you. And I mean, every time I go to this, like, well, you know, if she didn't have the vaccine, she probably would have been way worse off. You guys are probably home right now because you got the vaccine.
That could be true.
You know, and yeah,
that could be true.
And,
yeah.
But again, because of the facts before us of people lying, you know, and me not even being able to directly look at the science or them to believe them to portray me the truth. I mean, I just can't make that conclusion and jump to there. It's more like a leap of faith. You know, like, I'm not so sure. Maybe COVID isn't that bad, or maybe the vaccine did help.
Right. But let's say either way, right? So let's say, like, imagine how you felt after you got the vaccine, right? The first time you got the first shot. Now, what if that was how you felt when you got COVID the first time?
For 2 weeks.
And it was horrible.
Yeah.
And it was horrible, right? And it was the worst time, just like a lot of people explained their COVID experience. And then they were okay. Mm-hmm. You see what I mean? And then there was a whole nother population that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be the guy, but that's what makes it so hard. And like, in my personal opinion, that's the great thing about this country is that you get to live your personal life. And in my personal life, bro, I had no effect to it. If I did have it, you know, at this point, Kay's had it twice. I've quarantined for over 30 days because I was in contact with someone else. I've never, I known got it, but I feel like I did have it. I do feel like I did have it, but I didn't even notice, you know? So I have to just let it go. Like, and whatever it did, I mean, they say, you know, long COVID, they say it can give you long-term lung issues. What can I do about that? If there really was a pandemic that hit the world, right? Man-made or God-made, whatever it is, if there really was that pandemic that hit the world like that, what can I do? Then it was my time in this generation at this year to be able to get it, but it kills me in the long run. You know, that's bro, Black Plague, Genghis Khan, flood,
what
you
can
know?
you do?
That's what it is,
what can you
man.
Do, man?
That was that time.
There's universal things at play.
This
disease evolved.
It sucks. It sucks. That's the truth. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. But how am I going to be able to change? Okay, I was out there. I was living in the world. I had to pay my bills, so I was out there. I got COVID. If I was okay, but it fucked my lungs up. It fucked my lungs up permanently, basically, right? What can I possibly fucking do, bro? It's sad. It still sucks. But it's like there was no way of changing that. You still had to go eat.
Yeah.
You still had to go outside and do things.
Survive.
You were going to encounter a worldwide plague. Now we get into sick shit when you talk about, was it man-made? Was it?
What the hell? I can't hear you guys. But you guys suck. You can't hear us on Facebook. Looks like, oh no. I don't even know who that guy is.
I don't even know who this guy is.
I don't know who that guy is.
I don't know who that guy is, dude.
Yeah. Let me check it out on YouTube real quick. I say you can't hear you guys, you know.
I don't know who you are, Joe. Joey.
And you're not gonna hear
Oh,
this.
that's Joe. I know.
And you're not gonna hear this.
Just add it. I just added Joe. I got you. That's on Facebook.
That's Facebook. That's YouTube. My bad.
Huh.
I want to see because you know it seems like it might be a Facebook thing real quick. I appreciate.
but thanks for the you guys. I know Joe went to the casino with me. He's my sister's friend's husband. That's what guy. He's a good guy. He's a good guy, but I don't.
This is Facebook, man.
Joe, we're bumping, bro. Joe, you're such a boomer, bro. When you click on the video, it's gonna have an X over the microphone speakerphone. You gotta hit that.
But you can't hear this.
Hell yeah, you can't.
It's you, Joe.
It's you, Joe. Joe, it's you. I'm sure he doesn't know that because you know when you start a video, it usually has it on mute. Then you have to hit it on Facebook.
Yeah. Or he could just be turned down. This sounds great. I don't know.
But we're bumping, right?
We're bumping.
So
Sorry, there was some feedback.
Joe,
you guys heard that?
Joe.
But Joe's playing mind games.
Joe's
playing mind games.
Is
he fucking with us?
He's a good guy.
Is he fucking with us?
He's a good guy. You know what? That's funny. You popped up here, Joe. I got a sleepover planned at Joey's house.
Okay.
Saturday.
Okay.
I'll be out of Joe. He's a good guy. Joey. We're talk, Joe. We're talk, okay, bud?
I'll show you how to do video on your phone. I'll show you to tune in next time.
He's a cool guy because like one of them. We'll show him how to tune in. He's one of them like older guys that's just easy going, bro. You know, and it's like you don't even know like what beliefs he's sitting on or whatever it is, but like at the end of the day, he's just like a really easygoing guy. You know, it's like he can get along with people. You just appreciate that when you see that, especially in older people who are usually so set in their ways. You know what I mean? So like when you see that, it's like, damn.
I know exactly what you're talking about because when I worked at Sears when I was 16, 17, there was this guy, Bob. He was like probably like 60 some at the time, a couple years ago. At this point, it's like 10 years ago. Remember, I'm just like, he's an older guy. I really didn't talk to him too much. He worked in a different department. And I remember, like, I'm talking to someone there. It's like, oh, yeah, Bob's great. Bob's a cool guy. Yeah, he went to Woodstock back in the day. And I'm just, oh, yeah. And then when I saw him, I was like, what's up, Bob? He's just a cool, easygoing guy. He didn't want to sit there and be like, oh, how's the weather? Or he didn't want to sit there and be like, hey, you see what fucking Obama said yesterday? Like, he was just like, hey, what's going on, man? And that's what he was talking like. That's how he talked, man. He was like, hey, what's going on, man? And I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's
that's cool.
But you just run off like an older guy who's like, this guy's a boomer, and then you go talk to him. It's like, yeah, when I was your age, man, I remember stealing my old dad's whip. Yeah, and this kid used to bully me. I went and banged his girlfriend or something.
I do like that, but like, I just want to keep making memories with like younger people. Like I just picture like being just like a cool older person who's like easygoing, and like I don't want to be the guy who's always like, yeah, back in my day. If somebody like, it's weird because I was always the kid who would ask older people that. I always be like, how'd you used to do that, or something like that, and they would explain it. But sometimes people don't say that. So a lot of times I'm just like, man, I just want to be like old and easygoing, man. You know what I mean? I don't want people to think like I'm an old dickhead. I want to still. That's why like I won't say I'm old, bro. I don't think I'll ever say I'm old because I hate it, dude. Yeah, like it makes me sad. Like I'll be out with friends who are literally my age, and they're like, "Yeah, we're getting old now." And I'm just like, dude, you just make me so depressed. Like we're on vacation, I see somebody bends over, they're like, "Oh, I'm getting old." I'm just like, "No, you're not, bro. Like, no, you're not. It's all in your head, dude. Like you're so young. You have so much.
Do you move that back enough? Like, come on, man. You move that back enough? It's like
you got so much life in front of you. We are so young. I will never be old, man. I never want to be the guy that's like, oh, I'm too old for that. You know what I mean? Or I don't even want to say my body can't do it. That's why I want to take care of myself, because I want to be able to say 60 years old, I can still go up this mountain. Like I want to be able to do this shit, man. Yeah. Shit breaks my heart, man.
You want to do that, but like, you don't want to be that old guy that's just like, you're sitting, you're still trying to learn the lingo and stuff. You wear what they wear and shit like that. I mean, it's like, you want to try to be you, and you just want to chill out. I'm just
gonna be nice.
Exactly, man. Exactly, bro. Exactly. You just want.
That's why people to leave and be like, he was nice. Yeah. Literally, like to me, it's the ultimate compliment. Yeah. It's like that guy was really nice. Like, that guy's nice. He's a nice guy. Okay, he's a guy you can be around. All right.
He's a nice. Going. Yeah. He's chilling. It's just like he's just a cool old man. You know, just straight up. Like, I mean, like, those are the things you're gonna talk about. Like, we're like, when you're that age, like, I don't think I'm gonna sit here and like, I mean, like, even now, I'm not big into debating politics. You know, like we can talk ideas and stuff, but like, you know, you're not gonna get
politics.
Like in that age, it's just not gonna be like, you know.
If you called me maybe 3 years ago, I'd already made 2 Ukraine posts. Seriously, but I'm just not doing it no more, dude. I'm just not debating the politics. I know I know that I have been manipulated. Yeah. And from this point on, I won't believe anything, bro.
Yeah, and you know, and also you're just not gonna identify yourself with those things. Like I said earlier, where you're like, I hold liberal ideologies. I'm a liberal, progressive, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know, sit here, yeah. You just let's not circle jerk each other, guy. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, or
can we still say circle jerk?
I don't care. I mean, like, you know, we circle jerk, circle to that, circle to this, circle to that.
Say.
And then you get canceled.
But it's funny. This words you won't say to people though.
Like what? Like I mean, yeah. And that goes without saying, but circle jerk. If it became a racial term and someone said I was racist, I would be like, okay, maybe I'm trying to eliminate circle jerk from my vocabulary, you know. But like, man, come on, bro. This circle jerk, man, come on, dog.
I seen a great point like about pronouns like that. Where this guy was saying, he was like, how come you can own a pronoun? He's like, I can't own an adjective. He was like, what if I want you to only refer to me as smart and sexy?
I saw
you seen that? That's
video, bro.
And I was like, you know, that's a good point. You know, it's like, because that does bother me. Like for me, I feel like that's just like, okay, if we were friends and we see each other every day, I want you to explain to me what makes you happy. And if it's calling you whatever, it's calling you whatever. Like, I don't care about that at all. Mm-hmm. But like, I don't want people to feel like you're rude or you're dumb or you're, you know, unsympathetic if, you know, you don't go around trying to find out everybody's pronoun. I think we all can agree on that. You know, let's lighten up, dude. Let's lighten up,
bro. So, there was an instance of the day, you know, like someone had used one of those types of terms, and
somebody called you tranny?
No, yeah. Hurt my feelings. But you know, someone used
tranny, bro.
Someone used it. Well, I mean, I guess technically you can't nowadays. At least from what I pick up, I mean, you know.
Is it not just short for transgender? Is it derogatory?
I mean, like,
I remember it's literally short for transgender.
I remember the dude.
But transgender's cool.
I was saying, I remember the one dude, Michael Che, the comedian, you know, said it one time. I remember I was geeking. And he was just like, you know, I used to throw that word around a lot. I remember there was a transgender woman who was talking to me, and she, you know, was pretty much explaining to me. She's like, "Isn't that just short?" Well, he was saying, "Isn't that just short for tranny?" And he's like, "Well, can I just go around calling you Blackie?" You know, because he's a black comedian. He's like, "Can I just go around calling you Blackie?" You know, I mean, it describes who you are. I mean, like, you know. And his whole punchline was like, well, the thing is with tranny is that it's short for something. You added a letter to black.
Right.
You know?
Right. Exactly. That's perfect.
Yeah. I was geeking at that.
But listen, if transgender people want to come out and say, like, look, the Japanese thing, right? I used to always call you Jap.
Yeah.
I literally took it as, I know that it had the racial back, but in my mind, I was always just like, it's short for Japanese. And it's just like, oh, the Jap. You know what I mean? But it's like, you explain it like, that's an offensive term. It's like, all right, we're my friend. I'm not going to say that then. So if anyone, stranger or whatever, was like, look, I'm offended by that. I'm not going to be like, tranny. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit there and try to, like, hurt somebody's feelings, but, like, just don't be mad if somebody, like, didn't know that, you know, you were going by they or whatever whatever.
I mean, and then this is the thing, like, you know, it's not that even, like, I find the word offensive. And I would, you know, agree with you. But, like, the thing about it is that, like, you know, what I take away is that, like, you know, for me, it's like, I'm not going to sit there and determine what, you know, someone who's trained should be offended by. I mean, training, I could get that. Okay, fair enough. You know what I mean? But, like, again, you know, this is, like, you know, same thing with, like I remember seeing people with, like, you know, posts about, you know, all these, you know, cop killings by, like, you know, by officers with black people, you know what I mean? You know, and people or blackface, people in blackface or things like that, you know, or even, you know, people making fun of black people, and people are like, well, why would you get offended at that? You know, it's just kind of like comedy or a joke, and it's just like, well, you know, if that group of people is telling me it's offensive, then it's like, okay, I'll give you that one, you know, you know, I'll try to limit training from my vocabulary. It's like when we were saying like midget,
the blackface one, yeah, midget too. Yeah. The blackface one, like, I did feel a little different about that because it was like at the time, everybody watched that, and like, bro, people are ignorant. Like nobody really knew, like white people were trying to dress up as black people, right? Bro, sometimes you gotta hear it to know that it's wrong. You see what I mean? Like, not every single black, like Justin Trudeau, right? Like he dressed up at that Halloween costume in a black face. Like it wasn't to be anything racial, though. Like it's not like he was trying to do it for like a racist point.
Yeah.
Like he was dressing up for a costume, bro. And this was at a time when a lot of people did that. It was accepted, and like nobody thought it was offensive.
Nowadays you can't wear Indian costumes no more.
Bro,
just like
it's like listen, and what I'm saying is that's fine. That's fine, and nobody should be doing blackface no more because we learned and we grew.
Yeah.
But like to go back and be like, this guy should be canceled because he did blackface in the '60s or whoever it was, like different people. Like, I don't know. I have a problem with that one. Now, if Bill O'Reilly at any time grabs somebody by the pussy or whatever, that's always punishable. You see what I mean? But like, there's certain things where it's like I think we were confused. We were ignorant. It's like not every single blackface I thought was hateful. I thought Justin Trudeau's thing was like, okay, is it dumb? Yeah, it's dumb. It's like me back in the day. I always say I said N-word with an A. I always said, bro, and I thought I was cool. Everybody I knew said it. White people said it. You said it. You know what I mean? Everybody fucking said it, bro. And we thought we were so cool. I read it now, bro, and it's so cringy. I feel dumb. Man, I feel dumb. I feel ignorant. I feel disrespectful. I don't know where I was coming from. I don't know why I thought that was cool. I look back at it. I said, why? Because everybody did it. So I thought that it was okay. Now I look back at it. I'm like, that sounds so stupid. I'm sorry. Let's say I go get famous. Is somebody going to go dig me up on Facebook and be like, oh, look, he made a status where he said this. You know what I mean? Like, is that what they're going to do? It's like, bro, I'm telling you right now, I was stupid. It was wrong. A lot of people were saying this. It never was from a racist standpoint. It was always just like a thing we said because we thought we sounded cool. Yeah. We said it to everyone. Black people, white people, teachers, students, citizens, cops, anybody. Like, it was just literally a term of phrase. It doesn't make it any better. It's stupid as shit. But we were young. We thought it was so cool. Now, how many things can you say that about? A fucking million things. Because that's what it's about, growing. Here I am telling you I was stupid. What do you want me to do? You know what I mean? Yeah. What do you want me to do? Like, how far do I got to go to say I was wrong? Should I not be allowed to ever be in the spot of fame? You know
exactly,
what I mean? Like,
yeah. And I mean, like, I remember Andrew Schultz put it perfectly, where it's like, with each passing day, everyone would be made a bigot. Everyone will be made a bigot. As time continues to go on, we'll probably be remembered as the most transphobic generation ever. Or such a terrible time for trans people. I mean, like it's just every, and we think we're really PC right now.
Right.
But moving forward, you're just be like, well, they were fucking idiots back then.
It's so funny how they just came for Rogan like that, and everybody was like, no.
Yeah,
like, they're just not gonna get Rogan.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, no way.
Crazy,
There's no absolute way. And
I mean, like, no, like even people, black people, famous people, everybody was just like, no, not Rogan. And they had a video of him doing it multiple times.
Yeah, and I mean, like, that's the thing. I think there's a lot of people that try to come out against it. I think there's a lot of things at play. What those random numbers.
Fucking business. God damn, have some goddamn respect.
Can you see him live?
I got a live channel.
Yeah. Where was that? Joe Rogan. We're talking about Joe Rogan. Yeah, I mean, like, he just seems like, there's a lot of things at play. I think that people were trying to get taken down for. It was clear as day. Like, you look at it, you're like, okay, they couldn't get him on the vaccine misinformation. They couldn't get him on that. Well, now we gotta get him on the racism. Now we can try and get him on the racism. Let's try and cancel him. Everyone hates racism. Let's cancel him with that. Next, it'll probably be transphobia. They're gonna chip away. They're gonna try every shot at this guy. They're gonna try every shot at this guy, bro. It's just like, I think it'll be uncancelable. And I got, Spotify has removed a lot of episodes as well. Like, it's just,
that's weird.
Yeah, and that was never supposed to happen.
Shouldn't have done that.
I feel the same way. Then he entered that level of where it's like,
it's crazy that he really is the number one media person of all time. That's established. Like, he's reached the most people ever in human history.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
We've done a lot of things for the first time ever in human history. It's crazy,
and
man.
You know what's been great is that, like, and he's only getting better.
We have the richest man.
He's only getting better. Just recently he released 2 podcasts. One climate, one guy's opinion or theory. Next one, other guy's reverse opposite opinion. Just like he just I mean, like,
I do like that, but see, I don't like that he does that anymore. I liked when he used to put both them motherfuckers on at the same time.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
that's when they had real good. Like, he had the police reform guy, and then the other guy, I forget who it was, the lawyer or something that was on there, and they were debating. Then he had Hancock and Michael Moore. Wasn't that Michael Moore?
Yeah, it was Randall Carson, Hancock, and Michael Moore. Yeah, it was all 3. I'm not sure the guy's name. But it was the skeptic guy. The skeptic guy.
Yeah,
the skeptic guy. Yeah,
something else.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Yeah, but I know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? That was a good one. Like, well, I don't know. People want to see the bad. Why do people want to see the bad? That's what I'm saying. You want to see those videos from me.
And I think most people, especially now that he's on this type of platform, want to go on. They want to present his idea. They want to present their idea unopposed. And if someone else comes on and goes against them, I mean, he's not there to be made a fool or be backed into a corner or anything like that on, straight up live, unedited, or
he's not even going live no more.
He's not going live anymore. Mm-hmm. I mean, either way, going and ruining 2 hours or something, like he
most people are going live because they would clip his video before he finished.
Yeah, okay.
Because he had to buy that JRE clips, bro.
Yeah. Now his just his own YouTube channel, like Powerful JRE, is just the clips one. Like, I mean, I think most people don't want to do that. They don't want to go on and like debate somebody else like that, man. And don't want to have that. Like, they just want to go on, promote their theory, their idea. That there's a book attached. There's things like that. They want to They want to speak other places. They want to go on other podcasts. I don't think most people want to do that, And I gotta give it those people who go on a podcast like that and go and defend ideas.
You imagine? Yeah, for sure. You're right. You imagine those two people that you're talking about, like, they both were on the same day, One was on the waiting room as the other one was coming out. They're just like brush each other with their shoulders. Yeah. It's like, climate, bitch.
This is top that, fucker.
He just started to see.
Bow!
Calm down, bitch.
Like some cheesy shit like that. Like, come on, like, yeah, it's just. I mean, especially if you're made out to be look like a fool, and that type of platform nowadays, man, it's unbearable. You'll get shoved back in your face for years to come. That'll be career ruining.
Can't do anything on the internet.
Detrimental to your career. If you don't go out there and put up a good fight.
Fucking David Bowie. That video I sent you where he's talking about the internet.
Oh, that was David Bowie?
David Bowie.
I never recognized David Bowie. Everyone's just like, that's David. I'm just like, oh shit, I know it because I know David Bowie is. But like, whenever I see him, he's always look different. I just watched it. I just watched it. Because I remember you're like, I'm just like, yeah, that was pretty good. It's like, I listened to it, man. And
the other guy just kept like, oh, don't you think this? What don't you think this? What don't you think this? And he's just like, nope. He's like,
well, you're talking in a rather profound sense. I mean.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how can you know what vaccine to get? Like, people told you the internet wouldn't work. You see what I mean? Like, this shit is fucked, bro.
Yeah, at one point, I mean, internet wasn't even a thing. I mean, like, like it just no one could even conceive what the internet was. I mean,
everything's gonna be sexually dominated, bro. Eventually we're just gonna become like a walking. Just gonna get bred like cows.
Pushing that dopamine button.
Not even. Yeah, technically. But I picture like, them things that they hook up to the cows' udders.
Milk, just straight milk.
Hook that up to your dick. Yeah. And you're just going to play VR porn.
Yeah.
And just drain all day. And that's going to all go down to like, you're going to see one of them coming out of every house.
Yeah.
And they're going to all go down to this funnel system. And that goes where they fucking breed embryos with stem cells.
Yeah.
And they make shit you can eat.
And just make other people live forever behind the scenes. Like, straight out, just live forever. You just power that and just keep making babies. But I mean, like as what the metaverse looks like you're gonna go hook up in one day. You're never gonna leave your house. You'll have sex or get your dick sucked by a machine. Then you'll go see a matinee with your boys in the metaverse, you know, and you're going dates in the metaverse.
Right.
You're going to a Tinder hut.
Like, why can't like all money just transfer to the metaverse? It actually doesn't seem that hard, right? Like I go say I have something, then I transfer it into the metaverse. So I start a Mike's Tools in the metaverse. And then I get my employees to go into the metaverse, right? And then eventually the metaverse, we're spending 50-50, 60-40, right? Mm-hmm. And you're at the point where it's like, well, I'm actually generating real profit from this metaverse tool shop that people are coming to, you know, and I could literally pay people to just stay on here now.
Well, that's what's kind of like happening.
Infinite space.
What's kind of happening is,
and now they just have like, bro, then they have people hooked up, like how they do the Bitcoin mining farms,
bro.
They just have people hooked up, bro, like that, and like ectoplasm.
Like digital real estate is like real, bro. I mean, it's just the fakest shit ever. But like, you're going in the metaverse where like people can buy land, and you can go to this Atari-owned piece of land in the metaverse and like play games. And it's like, you sit there, you're just like.
But eventually, don't you think you're just gonna code your own metaverse?
People want to live next to Snoop Dogg's house.
Don't you think a hacker could code his own metaverse? And then plug his game up to it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like why? Like,
you're gonna mod the metaverse.
Yeah, and then at that point, like, you don't own nothing.
Yeah,
you see what I mean?
Well, then we may never even know what happens to that guy because then they come in real life and take his ass away. And you see that he hasn't signed in a while. You're not sure what happened. Because you're in the metaverse all days.
Well, if you're in the metaverse 24/7, is there a real life?
Is there a real life?
If I kill you in the metaverse, do you die? He's like, oh, sure you're great.
Well, from my understanding of Facebook's metaverse, you do die in real life if you die metaverse.
That's just simple.
You die on Facebook, you die in real life, guys.
You have to plug that thing into your brain.
Yeah.
That's why I just keep trying to troll it.
But
everybody always thinks you're serious.
Yeah, I mean, you're so worried about the brain hookup. I'm more worried about my dick hookup.
Well, I said dick first.
How's that? You did say dick first.
I said dick first.
Like, I want to be sure that's secure.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, so in my head, you're kind of in like, remember when they found Mewtwo? Remember that?
Yeah,
and he's like, he's like that. You know what I mean? You're in there. Your dick's hooked up.
Sure, like
some of us have bigger dick hookups than them. Bigger dick hookups than the other. For women, your titties are hooked up. They've already taken your eggs. You know what I mean? They took your eggs when you were in like day 4. You didn't realize.
You're just solving Bitcoin puzzles now.
At this point, you're just a Bitcoin miner.
Yeah.
But you have to do it in person. You do it in person on the meta. In the meta, you develop the blockchain. You move the blockchain in the meta.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, but it's still free will. Then you put a false code in there. Backdoor. You allow backdoor for your buddy. And next thing you know, you hop into, what's that? What's that when you backdoor the metaverse, right?
Yeah.
Now you're like, what's outside the matrix? I don't even know anymore. I think I'm hooked up to fluid. I think there's like fluid all around me, but I honestly don't know. Look, you come back, you're 13.
That's the most terrifying thing. It's like how deep do things go? Just when you think you make a breakthrough, there's 20, 30, fucking 50 more layers. You fucking punch a hole in the ground, but that's just the tip of the fucking iceberg. Like, it's just how deep could you ever think you could ever go?
Well, like I can think about like how far, like a simple jump, right? So like a simple jump in my mind is like athletes use steroids, right? So I think about like e-gamers probably use Adderall, and they probably would not be against using a catheter while gaming. Yeah, right? Because I mean, sometimes it's about being there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You're on that grind game or something like that. Hook up that catheter, bro. And that's pretty fucking crazy.
Be there.
But you got grown men shooting themselves in the ass so they can hit a ball farther. So it's like, is that a jump? I think people are probably willing to go pretty far. I was about to ask you something similar too. Like, what do you think about like how much time would somebody spend in the meta if every day you spent in the meta was 2 days in real life?
Yeah. Oh man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what about if like, what I was thinking about too? Like, what if you did have to do like some type of hookup eventually, right? Like it's a neural link to that. And then think about how, like, when the game's saving, you can't turn it off. What if you did?
That's how they turn it off. What happened? we got forgetting shit.
Your fucking head just blows up.
So you wake up, and you're just like, where am I? And you look at the world from new eyes. You see all these people hooked up. You're just like, that's how you get right on you. You're out there naked. You're just like, you're running around, and then they're chasing you. You just keep running because you're scared, but they're trying to hook you back up into the world. And you're just out there. You're a criminal, but no one else knows what's going on.
It's so crazy. I love it, bro. I love thinking about just the craziest shit like that. Like, I was thinking about something like that earlier too. Right? Because somebody had brought up like, when you give those ducks, Alka-Seltzer, they blow up. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, because
you
you
ever
can't
seen
pass
that?
gas or something. Yeah.
Have you seen that before?
Yeah.
I was thinking about we
The
don't got nothing that'll make us blow up.
No.
You know what I mean? They will blow up.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
I'll be like, you can fuck yourself up if you take too much, but like
you've never heard of a human eating anything and blowing up from it.
No.
That's insane, dude.
No,
So you imagine you're fucking single and you're next to your homie and he fucking blows up. I mean, that is some shit that I don't know if you believe in God now or you don't. Those humans are God. I don't know how you process that.
I just love this real quick. Just think about that. Yeah, I don't know how you process. I mean, like you just go out and look at some of these things. I mean, like again,
weird first comment.
Again, like you go out and you examine things on your own. You know, like for not even from like a viewpoint of like a science lens or something. But like you're just out in the wilderness and you come across like you never even knew something like a stick bug existed. And you see a stick walking.
Yeah.
So you're just like,
I'm high.
And you're looking at that bitch and you're just like, you know, and then you recognize other patterns of nature where you're like, other things are camouflaged. This thing fucking evolved to a stick.
Yeah.
It's like,
you know what that makes me think about? Is like mirages. When you're walking through the desert, bro, and you just see something that you want to see, bro, like that has to be torture. I almost want to go experience it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Just to see like a mirage.
The people, like, you know, crossing the ocean, where like when you cross the ocean, it would take 6 months, a year. They talk about sirens, you know, like the sirens of the sea. They draw wanting sailors out. They're usually portrayed as beautiful. They sing gorgeously. They lure sailors out.
Crazy.
And then the ocean takes them. And it's like, you know, it's like, where do those come from?
Yeah.
Where do those come from, dog?
And that's like when people like drink that salt water. Yeah, when they're like crazy. When they're gone.
Yeah.
What the fuck? They hallucinate.
So thirsty.
Like they say, I read one that was saying like the people during the Titanic, there was multiple people, bro. One person started it, and then multiple people fucking went down back to try to swim back to the Titanic for ice cream. Literally, bro. Say one like drinking the salt water out there for so long, and then literally was like, I'm going to get ice cream. Let's go get ice cream. And like people were trying to stop them from going down. They went down, never came up.
That's crazy.
Never came up, bro. Insane.
How
can you force yourself to do that? It's a wild thing. This crazy part.
Whenever I injure myself doing something by accident, I'm always like, I see a cut, and I'm just like, I would have never willingly.
I know. I always think that, bro. Me too.
I can just like eat that real quick.
I was saying that to you before. I'm always amazed because I'm like, I would have never thought I could have withstand that. Like I've hit my knee hard as shit, and I'd have been like, if you'd asked me before that, I'd have been like, if I hit my knee like that, I'd break it.
Yeah.
And I just hit my knee. I'm just like, whoa.
And you like,
fucking take it.
You would have never went and kneed that concrete wall like that, but you fell on your knee that one time with so much force, and it didn't break, but you hurt like shit, and you're just like.
But I love putting myself in situations like that, though. Like I've told you before about I used to run with them bricks and like put myself in that cold water and shit. I always love like trying to put myself in that. And I don't even know how many scenarios I've been in where like I had to do it. Maybe a couple, right? Where you had to like reach that critical thinking. Yeah. But I always try to put myself like in a bad position and then like think, you know? And it was on the vacation for everybody left me alone late at night. So it was like 1 a.m., bro. I was out in that hot tub and it was cold, bro. And I was like fucked up, bro. And it was cold. So I put the top on the hot tub, but I was in it. So I made like a float tank, bro. You know what I mean? And like, I was just gone, bro. And like, there's not much smoke in there. You know what I mean? And like, I was trying to practice like coming up. I didn't have enough room to raise my head all the way. I had to like go sideways. So I like kept pumping my head down there, and then I would flip over top. And I tried to do like a math problem. You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking like a memory and that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I know, bro, it's weird because like you might never have to do anything. But like, if the time came, Steve, you know
worked
what I mean?
on your brain right there. You worked on your brain.
I was working on my brain, bro. Like trying to do like, you know, an experience of like, okay, you know, because I hate that, bro. I'm so claustrophobic. So like I'm in water, bro. I'm claustrophobic. I put that down. It's all steamy. I can't get like a good breath in. I'm like trying to put like air, you know, take the air out of my lungs and shit, bro. Like, you know, I'm just like, oh, I hate all this. And
I'm sitting there worrying. I was like, this guy's all fucked up. He's doing that. I was like, Doesn't even realize he's running out of oxygen right there. Passes out, drowns. And I was like,
bro,
oh shit, bro.
But I'm a smart guy, bro. I've told you many times. How fucked up
but
I get.
you worry about
I'm always aware. I was
aware
aware though. So like, eventually it got to the point where I was like, okay, you know what I mean. So what I did, I went to the side. I used the Twisted Tea cans, bro, on each side. I pumped up 2 of them, so I just made a little crack. You know what I mean? I just like kept going in. You know, got my air back, dropped them off again. So. It just falls down and cracks me.
Knocks him down. The latch comes down. It locks. He can't push it back up.
So listen to this, bro. This is how weird I am, Steve.
Yeah.
So what I did, I thought about the same thing, bro. I thought about that. I was like, what if this falls down, right? So what I did was I made a third one in the middle that was a little bit shorter than the other 2. So they're all different heights. So the middle one. So if those 2 that were holding it up failed, I was hoping that other one would catch it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it still could have failed.
You're good.
That was my. After that, right, I was like, I've secured all the cautions I can.
Yeah.
You know, I was
you're good now.
Bro, and it's crazy because it's funny that you say all that because what made me think all that is just how much true crime that I watch, bro, and hear so many dumb stories like that of like, hey, they find him dead in the tub the next morning. You know, and then I was like, man, I'm going to make everybody in here be suspicious. Everyone's going to think someone in here killed me. I'm not going to do that to them. I'll breathe. Happens, I'm good. I'm good. I'm breathing. But it was pretty cool, man. It was pretty magical, bro. Like, like, I guess, like I said, those deer get fed. So, like, the deer came up, man, as close as, like, us to those steps right there. Like, that's cool, you know, so it's just like, it got a point where it was a little scary. It did, bro, because they're big.
Yeah,
big. You're like, and bro, like, wild. Dude, they were like camouflage. Like one came out and it was like creeping closer. Then another came out. Then 2 more came out. Then 3 more came out. So like it went 1 to 7 quick, and they're like that close. And you're like, all right, what? Ignore them. Yeah. Okay, now we was like, don't be silly.
So there was a video I saw. It was like of like a big ass wolf in the middle of the street. Someone's filming him in the car. And I'm just watching it. I'm just like, damn, that's a big ass wolf. And I look at some of the comments real quick, and everyone's just like I just see one person. They're just like, no one can talk about the other set of eyes. And I look again. I'm looking back, and I see some eyes over there with another wolf off the camera in the darkness, just looking. And this other wolf is just sizing this car up, and there's another one just in the darkness.
That's cool.
And I'm like, oh shit, man! I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, exactly, right.
That's
like,
awesome, bro.
Yeah, animals, man. Animals. I mean, like. I mean, that's another reason you want to get out in the wilderness because you want to see some fucking animals.
Yeah, but it also is scary, bro. You go out there and fucking encounter a bear, counter lion.
Bro, you ever see the video of the guy who's backing up and the mountain lion just fucking
full predator mode
for like 3 minutes? Yeah, he's just like, get back, get back. And for 3 minutes.
I feel like you just gotta get to that point where, like, bro, if it gets that close to you, like, I don't trust cats. You know how I am about cats. If it got that close to me, I'm just expecting it's life or death. I'm already life or death. Like, I feel like I'm like, do the attack. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna fuck me up, man.
Yeah,
he is going to fuck me up, bro. So I don't.
My knife.
If I got a knife. Yeah. If I got a knife.
I feel like I always have a knife on me. I'm just saying.
You always have a knife on you?
No, not like in public. I'm saying in hiking. Hiking. If you're out hiking, you're always got a knife. That's how I feel.
You should. But you might not. But you should. Yeah.
Drop it.
I carry my knife for a whole walk. Pretty much.
Drop it. The fucking puma just fucking kicks it away. I mean, like, I just think I always have a knife.
Puma says drop it.
Yeah, pull my knife out.
Puma's like, drop it.
Get the point.
Fair fight.
You get the point. It's just like, let's fight. You know. Because they say you can't run from what?
Well,
they say you can't run
you're not gonna go. You're not getting away from any animal that's a predator, bro. No. You're not outrunning any animal, bro. No. Nothing. No. You know what I mean? You're not out climbing nothing. No. Nothing like that. So for me, it's like if I had a knife, I'm pretty confident. I'm not confident, but I'm saying like I'm not confident that I don't even think it's 50-50 yet. Yeah. But I'm like, say if with hands, me versus a mountain lion, 100-pound mountain lion, let's say. With just myself, I probably got like what a 10% chance maybe getting that done, bro. Honestly, that's being truthful. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie, and that's that. Who knows with that? And with a knife, I'm saying my chance might be 20.
Look, either way, if you were to win, you're still gonna be fucked up.
Yeah,
you could still die right there. You know, you could kill him. Fucking, you're lacerating the neck.
If you had multiple knives, you could do throwing knives.
I thought you were talking about like sitting there just doing that, just like that.
That's true too. But you say if you had like 5 knives in your waistband, right? That was like,
yeah. Well, a bear straight up, a bear will kill you before you kill it, probably.
Leonardo killed a bear, bro.
You might kill that fucking mountain lion and you might just barely make it.
For some reason, I see. This is where I will sound dumb. For some reason, I always just felt like I could run around a tree on a bear. Am I crazy?
Yeah, bears run pretty fast.
I mean, but like, say like there was like
they climb pretty good.
Say there was like a tree set up. I mean, I mean, give yourself in the same scenario. Don't even put me there. Put yourself there, right? Adrenaline's rushing. You're not gonna fight it. You're not gonna fight a bear, bro. With no weapon, you're not gonna fight a bear. I think you're better off trying to run. And I know you're not supposed to run. And I know it's probably gonna catch you. So I'm thinking like you got to get inside of some shit that like it can't get in quicker. You know what I mean? So like if it was like, say it was tight, like we've went through some tight ass woods when we were hiking, right? Where it's like a tree almost every spot. Like, could I just maneuver around these trees? Because, bro,
here's the obstacles. Yeah.
Well, I'm right.
Not as agile as
just in my head right here thinking about it. Like I'm running a lot of things, and I'm trying to think about like advantages. I don't have many advantages, but I know my advantages. Number one, the ability to sweat. So I have to try to tire this thing out. Like it should get tired before me. A healthy human should be able to outlast a bear. That's what I would think because it can't sweat. It's got too much body weight. You know what I mean? It's exerting too much energy to keep going, and it can't sweat. It has to perforate, right? Isn't that what they call it?
Yeah, and they say a lot of times, unless you come across a hungry bear, a lot of times it's because you encroach too close to some baby cubs,
right?
So.
But I've seen people even walk down bears and be like, "Get the fuck out! Get the fuck!"
I've seen people do that too. Yeah,
big bears.
Yeah, and they determine it's not worth it. Yeah, and that's what it's about. Are you the next meal? They're trying to figure it out, and if you're not, depending on what they got going on, they'll probably move on.
So you think I'm crazy to say I would rather fight a bear than a mountain lion?
No.
How about you?
No. I think I can take on the mountain lion. I think I'll take on the mountain lion. I think your chances are lower against the bear. As far as trying to fight it. I mean, because
I know I'm not going to.
You have to fight a puma. You can't outrun it. So that's that. You can possibly outrun a bear. Given the right circumstances.
Well, also depending on the scenario, right? Like, think about like that hike we went on with like Clayton and them, right? Like a bear was chasing me right there. And you know how like we went up like spots where like you would go up this rock and then you go over the top and you could drop down. Yeah. Like a bear could not do that, bro. If I took a bear up high, I could drop down and it could not.
Bears can climb pretty quick. Yeah, even rocks.
You remember when we went up but imagine where we went to. You see what I mean? Where like remember that one spot me, you, and Grant got up?
Yeah.
I'm coming up. Remember it was like real steep.
Yeah.
Like you see what I mean? Like if I went up there, bro, that like even if the bear got up there, I could get back down, right? Like it doesn't have thumb, right? So like it can't walk its way down on something that's steep. It's got to fall down, which it probably can do too, because I've seen crazy falls by animals and they just walk it off, bro. So, but I got my dog in me too. My adrenaline's pumping too.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm something's prey. Yeah. You know what I mean? I gotta be even more. Yeah. I got prey drive.
Yeah, and I mean, people are nimble. They have a lot more balance than bears. Like they have a lot more weight carrying around.
That's what I'm just. I know it's a very small chance.
Yeah, 100%, 100%, man. That's the thing. Like there's chances. I mean, like
we're like the lion, bro, to go up anything. They'll go up anything.
No, I mean, like that's the thing, bro. Like
you think
I don't know about bears coming down from rock, but I've seen them climb.
Yeah, they can climb fast and they can run fucking like 40 miles an hour. Yeah. So I'm just trying to think about like something steep as shit. I do my best.
You would need like dense forest, so you get a lot of obstacles in.
Right.
Kind of like zagging
try
around.
Your best.
And just it's like and it's kind of trouble.
You think like 100-pound mountain lion could beat a 100-pound wolf? It's a good matchup, right?
Yeah, I think that's a solid matchup. I mean, I would say probably the mountain lion.
Does a wolf have claws?
They do have claws. No, I'm not sure. I don't think they're crazy
like
sharp.
dogs?
They're more with like their mouth.
It's like a dog.
Because I mean, like when you think about like the way they move, like they can.
What are all the wolf's attacks?
That's what I'm saying. Like you're talking about a pack animal versus a singular hunter. I think the singular hunter would probably win.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah. Because I mean, like I think wolves
strength advantage.
Wolves get a lot of strength in like numbers.
Strength advantage, wolf though, right?
Strength advantage. I mean, yeah. I mean, they both got things going for them. Definitely. But
quickness.
The quickness. Those claws.
I don't want to
fight.
Like
I feel like a wolf has to get in there with his mouth. That mountain lion's just. Like kind of like striking that bitch. With some claws, man.
Yeah, they weird me out, man.
Yeah. I mean, and they're sneaky, bro. They're sneaky.
They're just killers.
Smart. Sneaky. They get you when you're not looking.
People say, why did the Egyptians worship them? What do you mean? Why not? If there was enough of them bitches on this planet, they'd be running it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
if let's just say it was 5, I don't know what the numbers are. Let's say there's 10 cats that were one human. They probably could overthrow us still.
Bro, they got
What if they just charged Annapolis?
Like feral cats, like running amok in Australia, you know?
Yeah.
Or like,
yeah, exactly. Like in California, everywhere. Yeah,
here,
killing people. Still.
Yeah, they kill hella fuck. I mean, like here alone, cats kill most species. The domestic cat.
So let's sum it up with
species.
Could 100-pound mountain lion and 100-pound wolf teamed up beat a 200-pound bear?
Probably not. I don't think so. They need more. I think they need a little more numbers. But
okay,
an opinion.
What if I threw a human on their side?
I think you're working with some. Because human can they all kind of like work together?
You think they would rather have a human or another lion or wolf?
Oh, probably another lion or wolf. Yeah, I think so, man.
You think so? But we can't do things, bro.
We can do things. You know, we can.
We can do things. Like, dude, like if let's just say worst case scenario. Okay, I have options. Okay, don't think I'm a bitch, bro.
I'm trying to ask myself the same thing. Would I rather have another human, like a human and a wolf, or like 2 wolves? So I might go with 2 wolves.
I would go with another human.
Like 2 wolves would be cool.
I'll go another, but like here's okay. So listen, here's the thing, bro. Think of your advantages, bro. Think of things that separated you from evolution, right? Yeah. So I already said preparating, sweating. You know what my next mechanism is, right? No throwing arm, motherfucker. Yeah. So, bro, I mean, let's just say, right? Let's say it wasn't me. Let's just say a human. You don't even got to put me in the scenario. You never know who it is. Could be Clayton Kershaw, right? Grabs that motherfucker, bro. And a bear runs straight at you. Yeah. That's the thing. They got bad technique on the attack. Yeah. They do run in a straight line. And I just fucking hurl this fucking sledgehammer rock 90 fucking miles an hour right there.
Yeah.
You know, I can knock his ass out.
Then I might be able to eat a couple, but I might think
now
twice.
Might think
twice.
So now I got 2 humans. Now I got 2 humans, right? That's what they say about the throwing arm, bro. That's what did it, right? Yeah. It wasn't one man throwing it. It was the fact that 30 of us can rock these motherfuckers.
And it's like a synchronized thing where you're just like,
and we can trap, bro. We set traps, bro. So now it's like I know where you go to get your water. Okay, well, we're just gonna go up on top with 50 of these fucking rocks, and when you bring you and whoever here, we're gonna hit you in the fucking head with these rocks over and over. We are not pussies. You see, we have advantages. Yeah. What sucks is we weren't given claws. That's what I realized. That's the one thing I was like, if we had claws, okay, well, we do have some movement. You know what I mean? Like if we just had like those bear claws, we could compete.
Yeah, I think what like is also really cool is like that like feline like light on their feet agility.
That's
like,
the best part.
Cool, bro, man. Like, you're just like and you just fucking leap.
You know when when like the cats, they always do that similar attack where like they jump and they attack at the same time. Like they attack on the jump, and anytime they get caught lacking, like they're right on it. You know, it was on their feet, and they got 9 lives. No wonder they were worshipped. Thank you all for checking us out. I gotta go get some food.
Oh,
fuck you, Joe. I don't know what the fuck our comments that. Next time you press the goddamn unmute button, you old ass motherfucker.
And you like
Saturday. I see you Saturday.
You like subscribe,
buddy. Check us out. Like, share, subscribe. Love you mucho. I'm
have a good night.
We're out. Yeah, yell at them. And all right. Blazer.